Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Deep to right field. There it goes. Ball game. A walk-off home run for Jason Dominguez. And the Yankees win 4-3.
Deep to center. Dalton Varsho with his 4th career grand slam, and it's an even dozen now for the Blue Jays.
Go ball.
Well hit, deep part of the ballpark, turning, gone! Salvi hits a 2-run opposite field home run.
Forced to the line by Johnston. Next stayed in there. Here's Damon trying to twist away from traffic. Nurse with it. Hands it back to Draisaitl. Downhill score. What a beauty. Leon Draisaitl up high. And Edmonton strikes first.
Dropped it back. Hasted and moved it quickly. Brandon and shot. Comes to Duchesne at a wide open goal. And they score!
It's knocked away by Carl Anthony Towns. Shot clock at 4. Down goes Siakam. Nimar shot now. Rebound hard. Bodies down. Hurt the other way. They got Anunoby who will drive and put it down. Lee Smith again. 3. Got it. He's a flamethrower.
Good morning. Welcome into Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centros Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla. What's up, DB?
How we doing?
Oh, we're doing all right.
Did you say hello?
Hey, what's up? Hello.
No.
To
like
who?
in the chat already. Are you Hurrdat Sports now?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know if that's you. I don't know if that's Shane. I do know it's you if you're mad, because then you'll say something inexplicably like, "That's not what I was saying. I need you guys to listen." But when you say something nice like,
I do that almost every morning.
"Good morning," or "What's up, guys?" it seems a little. I don't know. Is that your niceties?
I like to welcome our friends into the chat.
Welcome.
It's like seeing your friends every morning. It's the same.
Hello, friends.
you know?
Hello.
Especially early. It's usually the same handful of guys saying what's up to everybody.
Yeah.
I like that.
And Kobe has made his triumphant return.
We got our nice little coffee group here.
So the only little low-key pot store we're kind of missing is Ken. Ken might be working though. He travels sometimes.
Does he?
Yeah. Are you missing Ken?
Terribly.
Oh, I detect a note of sarcasm.
Never.
No?
I do feel like we're those old guys that like sit and drink coffee at Casey's. Like all of our friends come around. And we're sitting at the like that's sort of what it feels like.
That is kind of funny because especially in the summer, like I've been known to just venture into a small town or two, and inevitably you will be 100% correct.
Absolutely. It used to happen every morning in Ashland when I lived out there.
Which, by the way, I probably need to check on Miss Lori.
Yeah?
Yeah, make sure she's feeling okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Got to check in?
I like to. She's very kind. She's a very kind lady.
We should probably also check in with Rico, make sure he's doing okay.
Yeah. So listen, last night was a night of trick-offs. Whether
for Dallas and
for some people it was just in your home. Some people it was like at the ballpark. Some people it was
15 innings. What are we doing,
bro?
What are we doing?
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And then the professional sports happened. What a debacle. A debacle.
Yeah.
A tentacle.
That's a different thing.
Tentacle and debacle.
Yep.
Would you teach those to the Utes at the same time when you're talking about consonant blends and sounds? Tentacle, debacle.
So the CLE at the end
Cool.
is the same sound. So probably.
Yeah.
Probably teach them at the same time.
Okay.
The front end vowels are pronounced differently, but on the back end.
Not to be confused with pencil.
No. But
It's a
that's
different
that's
occult.
CIL.
I understand. Not like different blends for same or similar letters.
Yeah.
English would be miserable.
Yeah, no, English is the worst.
It would be really miserable. Are you in or out on a choke symbol from another player?
So we had
in or out?
We had this discussion. You weren't participating. It's okay.
Who
In the
was
chat
it?
yesterday, me, Maddie, and
yeah.
JP.
So listen, I'm just telling you. something is clearly wrong with me.
Yeah.
Because I reach a point in my head where I feel like it's gonna burst.
Yeah. And you're just
So
like,
it's
I'm not replying to anybody
It's
anymore.
probably not healthy.
No, it's not.
Like I'm sure I don't want to joke about tumors, but I get these headaches, man, and they are crippling.
Yeah.
But they're not migraines
Okay.
because they're not temporal.
I've never had a migraine, so I don't really know.
Well, my mom gets them, so I used to pick her brain. They're at the top.
Yeah.
At the top. And I feel like let's say my head was a tennis ball.
Okay.
I feel like my skin only has the surface area of a golf ball.
Oh, so it's like it's stretched.
It's stretched.
That sounds not fun.
So even like if I move my eyebrows, it's like, ooh, do I have enough skin or is it gonna burst? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, I do. I don't think I've ever experienced that, but it's a good analogy for
That's
what you're describing.
that's how it feels.
Yeah.
So it's not like, ooh, it's in my temples.
Yeah.
It's like
kind of the point, like the crown.
Maybe I could birth one of those little aliens in Alien versus Predator.
I would advise not to do that. That's
No, I don't really want to. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, it's gross.
But I still think I would choose to be a predator in that scenario. Shane, did you see
I'm
that?
Stunned.
Well, the aliens were pretty. Hey, there's some bad boys or girls.
I was rooting
it was
for the
a lot of the
Predators.
moms having a. You were rooting for the Predators?
Yeah.
They're just ugly though.
Yeah, keep the
I'm
mask
not saying
on.
I'm good looking, but I don't want to walk around just ugly all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why you have that ugly? Like I have.
Just
Can dudes have RDF?
Yeah, I think so. Just brother. Ooh.
Like, you have resting
Richard face.
I don't want to be ugly.
Yeah, that's tough out there.
So I think I would take the Predator.
I mean, it's not like aliens good looking.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the two options,
Although we share a similar forehead.
cranial.
Yeah. Well, that's a good moment for you to practice kindness, and you can say, "Oh no, DB, man, your head is not misshapen. I know you're insecure.
So
It looks like a normal head."
to be fair, I don't know what they look like.
You've never seen that show?
No, like I've seen the previews, but I don't know which one's which. Like I know neither of them are good looking, but I can't get into specifics. I don't know which ones.
Okay, so you don't know the difference between the alien with your girl Sigourney Weaver and Predator with your boy Get to the Chopper.
Correct. I don't.
They don't look anything. It's like me and you.
But they have
The same, but different.
Get to the chopper! Get to the chopper!
Just checking skin tones over here. No, it's fine.
Hey,
Uh,
if you go this
I'll say if
side-
you go light hand side.
Yeah, I was watching baseball yesterday, and it was flipping cold.
Yeah, it was.
I got to get out of the wind tunnel, but my buddy likes to stand.
Because you went out to where, Freaky?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is very for me. I can get there in my. I don't. It's very seamless.
Yeah. Well, it's close to you.
But yeah,
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
but so's Werner tomorrow.
Yeah.
I just hope the weather holds.
I know, me too. I got to get out there see my boys.
Yeah, you had to got twice and you held on.
Yeah.
So now it's I don't know. Lincoln East is a handful.
I know. Miller North in the final, first time since 2006.
A lot of other people get a lot of other hate because they're a little more outward about their players and acquisitions and stuff. But quietly over the last 4 or 5 years, 6 years, Lincoln East is a monster.
Lincoln East has been a little recruity.
They're just a terror. It's a menace.
Yeah.
Like they own Lincoln baseball.
Yeah.
And it's not particularly close.
Not close. Yeah.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time.
No, I'm excited for the guys though. It's been a long time.
So wait, JG, are you like a regular doctor? Or do you help with like breaks and like an ortho guy? Are you like a family practitioner?
I think he's like a family general practitioner.
Oh man, he could have fixed my life insurance.
Maybe, yeah, probably. If you needed like a exam.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably could have.
Well, what was the delay? Speak up. Well, how was he getting me x-rays? I suppose he could do that too.
I mean, he can order like.
Okay, let's not talk to me like I should know. 'Cause we're not going to do that at 7:06 this morning. The delivery already.
7:09, we're good.
Who asked me yesterday? They were like, Kai, you seemed a little short yesterday for once with Ravi. I'm like, That guy gets more rope than the Klan. Like, I'm very patient with him.
That's why it's confusing when you're not. Like when you're used to be like, hey, yeah, you got like 10 feet to hang yourself with, and then I start choking at 7. I'm like, whoa.
Well, sometimes I like to feed you.
Yeah, like, whoa, I got like 3 more feet before I get in trouble here,
I'm
DB.
like,
What's going on?
What kind of branch is going to support that beard?
And sometimes you give me like 15, and I'm like, whoa, what's happening here?
Yeah, you sent me into a horrible tailspin with the NIT and Crown thing.
I know, I saw that.
I was very off-putting.
It was unusual.
It's fine.
I was like, well, I've got a few more feet before I'm in trouble.
Which is weird because you'd think Calypso and Elizabeth and Italian Fat would not be as traumatizing, where I actually did have to go touch grass, as the much shorter rope than you got yesterday with those horrible getting ramped up emotional takes.
Stand by it. It's fine.
Stand on it. I stand on it.
Stand on business.
But I got to go back before I get into this other thing.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a tweet deleter?
Not generally. There are a few times where I was like, hey, I was out of line. It's usually not because of blowback. It's usually because of self-reflection.
And you're like, yeah, I was drunk. That was one too many old fashions.
Yeah, I mean,
that was one too many. What's another weird?
I mean, old fashions aren't weird. They're pretty common. You just don't mix alcohol, so you think any mixed drink is strange.
Well, I don't know anybody under 60 except for John Bishop that drinks old fashions.
Oh, almost everybody I know drinks old fashions.
Really?
Like anybody that enjoys whiskey at all that I know drinks old fashions.
Oh, okay.
Like it's pretty. It's a pretty common drink.
So I'm in the non-general thought process sphere
on old fashions
of people just don't put stuff on the rocks.
No, I think a lot of people will do a mixed drink over something on the rocks.
Well, why'd they develop the big fat ice cubes then?
Well, a lot of times the mixed drink will go over the big fat ice cubes as well. It depends on what it is. Like if you're
seems like a waste of the big fat ice cube.
If you're doing like a really nice like whiskey or bourbon or something like that, people will sip it. But for the most part, like if you're just going out and having a drink, a lot of people will do some sort of a mixed drink.
With or without the big fat ice cube?
Well, with if you've got it, but not everybody has them. It's a kind of a delicacy.
Note to self. My mom's freezer makes them. They're outstanding.
Do they?
Yeah, they go to waste because I know this would probably hurt, but I'd like to throw them every now and again because they're like the perfect snowball. They're just a little too hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you might kill somebody.
Well,
if you threw an ice cube like a baseball, like you could.
It depends on how close you were. Like if you were at the wall, I couldn't kill you.
You could do some damage.
Oh yeah, it's gonna leave a mark. It'd just be a knot.
I might have one of those headaches like you got going. It's like my head feels like
it's not funny. It's very debilitating.
I'm not, man. I'm just saying. We could be in the same boat.
They're gonna be like, hey,
rowing in the same direction.
Did you watch Washington just ruin the Big Ten in rowing the other day?
No, I didn't. Oh. You asked me if I've watched a lot of things. I didn't think rowing was going to be on the bingo card.
I was captivated, so I watched it. And I don't appreciate your responses, though. Yeah, right. No one was watching rowing except for you, DB. That was the condescending super prick move laugh that you just did.
I do sort of feel like you're the only one watching rowing. I'll watch it in the Olympics. You're right. Like, it is fascinating to watch.
Don't you wonder how they turn that thing?
Not really. I've never really thought about it, if I'm being honest.
Oh. Okay.
I do find it fascinating when I watch it in the Olympics, but it's never been like, yeah, I got to tune into some Big Ten rowing.
Boy, Josh is tough, boy.
Every once in a while, I have a buddy that will text me during, like, after the show because he catches up later.
Yeah.
And you'll bring up some obscure stuff every once in a while that you watched, and he's like, what is he talking about? Nobody watches that. Like, there was one day that you were like, yeah, I was watching the 1991 NBA All-Star game. And he's like, why? Why?
So I do remember that.
Yeah.
And it was a Magic Johnson thing. But it's because, so that particular, to answer your made-up friend, which is really probably Ravi.
No, his name is Cole. He's a good guy.
What's up, Cole? I played with a Cole. I love Cole.
Yeah.
Cole Schramm. one of my favorite competitors that I've ever played with.
Yeah.
That doesn't get near enough talk in terms of Northwest high school lore.
Yeah.
Cole Schramm was fantastic. He's kind of a prodigy when he was a kid. Same frame.
Yeah.
Kind of went to high school with the same frame. He's a fireman.
Oh, nice.
He's incredible. But anyway,
Omaha's finest or bravest.
do you know why I watched that particular thing?
I don't.
I wanted to see if the pixels would ever regulate. Would it still always look like an old broadcast on a new television?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes.
So, at the risk of sounding like a ding dong, and Josh is probably like, I can't believe you're around my kids as a coach, but so when people say like digitally remastered,
yeah,
that's to change the look of whatever we're watching, right?
Yeah.
Like you've seen like Gone with the Wind, frankly, Ravi, everything you say, I don't give a damn. Like that line.
I'm aware.
When those things are digitally remastered, it's to look better, right?
Yes. I don't know how they do it, but that's the goal.
Why don't they just do that with everything?
There's probably
I wouldn't have had to watch Vince Carter and Allen Iverson dual 50s in like modulated pixels.
There's probably I'm imagining it's a money thing, right? Where if you can re-release a famous movie,
some of those cost like millions to do.
It can be expensive.
Yeah.
Whereas the market for the 1991 NBA All-Star Game probably doesn't justify the cost of
See, there you go again.
No, I mean like
and it takes 2 or 3 guys or whatever, a group of people for like a year to do it.
No, Kobe. Sometimes they have to turn around the buoys.
Yeah, they have to like do
they have
the
to.
U.
Yeah. They turn.
I'm
I'm not saying they use a blinker. I'm just saying like
they put like the hand out the
Kobe's
window.
like, what do you mean? How do they turn? They row straight. Well, at some point they do.
Yeah. At some point they do turn. They do a little U-ey around the buoy.
And apparently I'm the only one that watches rowing. It's fine. By the way, if you wanted to know Washington, it was a clean sweep.
Yeah, that wasn't on the old YouTube TV.
It was just you were probably sleeping.
When was it?
I want to say last Saturday morning.
Depends on how early. I got up pretty early last Saturday, I think.
That is early.
Not early as we normally wake up, but earlier than I used to.
My dog was walking on my face about 6:20.
Biggie or Buddha?
The only one that has the gall to just like
Biggie.
Of course.
Yeah.
The old savvy veteran. Not the young rambunctious fatty.
I don't give an F anymore.
Yeah. He does. He clears his throat like an 80-year-old.
Yeah.
No offense to any 80-year-olds out there that clear their throat. I'm sure a lot of Flemmy Lambrusco gets built up in the old chest cavity.
Let me clear my throat.
He does it. He does it every morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
maybe it's because the room is like 51 degrees, but that's neither here nor there.
When I watched your dog last year, he breathed so heavy, I thought he was dying.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, are you cool, bro?
So when he's like at peace and because sometimes he likes to sleep with something under his chin.
Yeah.
So like he'll lay across my shin or my calf or whatever. Like,
yeah. My dog's
you see him on the couch, like
on the edge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He tilts his head up and I'm like, whatever you gotta do to not drool.
Yeah.
I'm in.
I'm just doing whatever he can to keep breathing.
Yeah.
Like
just roll him over on his old belly.
That dude sound like he's got waking sleep apnea.
Josh, Cole Schramm beat my team's brains in from seeing you all the way through high school. One of the nicest kids, though. Yeah, Cole's a killer. He was competitive. Quiet, too.
So I don't know if this is right, but Lee says you turn in kayaking, not in crew. So I guess there's 2 different kinds of rowing.
Oh,
I don't know.
Hashtag sigh. It's always you, L-Dub. Leave me alone.
He's one of your good piece of cheese guys.
He is a good piece of cheese. Although he's going from like, I don't know, he's closer to like smoked provolone now. Like I like it. I don't love it. Although I did find some fantastic smoked provolone. I don't like a lot of, this is going to sound very on brand for me.
Yeah.
I don't like a lot of white cheese. I'm not like a Swiss or I do like Gouda.
Yeah.
But I'm not a mozzarella. Swiss.
I do love a good mozzarella.
Provolone.
Or Parmesan. I like good Parmesan.
Parmesan is fire.
Yeah. Really,
I do like Asiago.
Asiago is really good.
Parmesan is okay. Small doses though, my guy.
Yeah.
And I like it fresh, so I buy the little pizza,
the
little,
blow blocks,
the little pie slices.
Yeah, those are good. Yeah, you can't get like the grated stuff.
Yeah,
that's not any good.
But sharp cheddar, smoked Gouda, we're good.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Pretty much.
So
Pretty much. I got to get back to my original question. Lee just threw me for a loop because part of it is because he's right.
Yeah.
So it kind of pisses me off, but
sure,
it's fine. I just like when people move in rhythm, all do the same thing.
No, I mean it's cool to watch. I just never would have done it never would have occurred to me to watch Big Ten.
No, KB, I'm not. I am a Velveeta shamer. I do not do the Velveeta thing. Do you like white cheddar? I do, Kobe.
White cheddar's pretty good.
White cheddar's fire.
Yeah.
Vermont brand makes a nice white cheddar. It's a little brittle because it's super dry aged. The flavor is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was your original question?
Are you okay with players giving the choke symbol?
Oh, yeah. So I'm rooting for the Pacers. I thought the Knicks are gonna win the series. But
do you still think this?
I really would have. So I don't mind it in the moment. I really needed it to be a 3, though. Like if you're gonna do it,
that was a choke job, though. Right?
Oh, 100%.
Dude, Team Moranis walked through that deal. Which one of you dingalings asked do the Knicks have to lose?
I think DeMarinis did.
Well, he should know better.
Or maybe JP did. I don't remember. I didn't.
If it was JP, he gets some grace because he probably wasn't feeling well. Matty knows better, and you know better.
I said yes. I think you do have to lose.
Dude, it
was a huge choke job, though. Like, unbelievable.
Okay, see, that's the old school log cabin smell. Total bed wet. Total bed wet. I mean, they're waking up like syrupy this morning. How do they recover?
I don't know, man. That's a mental, like.
How many minutes do you think Tibbs slept last night?
Not a wink.
Like probably not one, right?
Yeah, that dude did not sleep a wink. That dude was on tape immediately trying to figure out how he let Aaron Nesmith just dice him up.
Hey, what do you think he was whispering to Brunson all night? Those two were like a couple of kids.
I don't know.
Hey, I'm in my bag. I just gave you 40. Nesmith was like, yeah, you look like trash doing it. You dribble a ton. And then Brunson was like, yeah, nice degree of difficulty on that shot. Good luck replicating that in game 2.
And they just kept doing it.
And then Nesmith was like, you guys might not even show up for game 2. I might just be out here playing horse. And Brunson was like, I had my braids first. And Nesmith was like, I'm finally glad you got those redone because those were looking like
they were looking a little rough.
Trash.
They were looking a little rough.
And then Brunson was like, yeah, I don't like to get those done on game day because it gives me a headache when they're braided a little tight. And then Nesmith was like, is that what the problem is? Because you guys are really collapsing. Do you think that's all that was going on?
I might have been a little bit more mean-spirited than that.
Oh,
I maybe we're getting a little chippier.
It's pretty good.
No, it was pretty good. I mean, definitely, the braids definitely came up.
Big Manchego guy.
Oh, Manchego's really good.
Big Manchego's
incredible.
Kobe's right again. Swiss is garbage.
Yeah, I think it might have been a little bit more mean-spirited, although the braids.
Nesmith kept saying it with a smile, though.
Yeah. Well, that's how you know he's like a psycho.
You throw that term around a little loose.
No, I say it when I mean it.
Not everybody. You call me a psycho. I'm pretty normal. And you
minus the serial killer obsession, yeah.
I know way too many people here right now that I didn't know last year. Big Drake Day.
Yeah, why is it Big Drake Day?
I just made up a holiday.
Okay.
And it is National Light Skinned People Day.
Nice. Who are we celebrating?
Light skinned people.
No, but who else? Like let's
Michael Severe.
Okay.
I like this picture because he has a nice fresh comb over. And I know he spends lots of time doing his hair. Yeah. Big Revlon guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta get those beauty products, right? What's his time in TV? He's got a
big Revlon guy.
Gotta get that hairspray right.
No, I like Drake for a multitude of reasons, but I'm over it. The segment that I always listen to.
Mm-hmm.
They use the lead in with
with the bump music?
Yeah, with Drake.
There you go.
So it's always in my head.
It does get stuck in your head. Like Drake does have.
Yeah, they literally, probably a lot like the NFL owners and execs, they literally were fighting on the show.
Oh, were they? What were they fighting about?
Over the tush push.
Oh. Yeah, the thing barely
So what do you
survived.
think, Lori? I know I do a lot of interactive role play with just myself. What do you think old Jeffrey was saying to Roger?
It's probably like,
Roger, you work for me. I'm going to need you to sit down and shut up. Hey, Troy, part of the reason we're in this deal is because you and your rules committee and the collective bargaining, you guys haven't been good at what you're doing.
Mhm.
So I'm going to need you to just zip it, Troy. Troy's like, look, man, I'm all about player safety. How many videos do you need to watch and see what kind of positions we're putting our bodies in to prolong or, incur injury? Lori's like, yeah, show me the data. Who's getting hurt on this, guys?
Yeah.
He's like, Roger, if you put the kibosh on this year, it will look very petty because we just won the Super Bowl. I know we're only 2 votes short. Wait till next year. If we don't win the Super Bowl, then it won't look as vindictive and petty. Okay, Roger? And Roger's probably like, hey, Jeff, man, good point, man. Optics, I don't want it to look like we're just coming down on you because you won the Super Bowl and nobody can stop you. Cool? Cool. All right, you'll get your 2 votes next year. 1 more year of peace, but get this off your chest. That's pretty good.
No, that makes sense.
Okay.
That would make sense.
Shout out.
Good
ODB.
morning again.
There is a lot of politicking with those votes that goes on.
Yeah, and I mean they're the king of
because all of a sudden
they're the king of sticking together. Not the dirty C word, but they're the king of like
okay. I was like
group thinking as one and kind of making it happen.
Well,
but 22-10 was interesting.
It was. I thought it was.
Why is 24 the number?
Is it 3/4 of the league?
Sure,
but I don't know. That's arbitrary. It seems arbitrary.
Well, you're certainly not going to get
except for on letting them play in the Olympics, apparently.
Yeah. And why we're giddy over flag football in the Olympics?
I think people are interested to see what it looks like. I mean, there's some guys that it would be fun to watch.
Who's winning? It's not like the NBA MVP where nobody's born here. They're mostly American guys. Who's beating the U.S. in flag football?
Yeah, I mean, no one. Not a soul. The only thing is if they put limits on how many. I read a thing that they might put limits on how many NFL guys can be on a team.
Nobody can do that.
But even then, if you get like 2, it's over.
Well, just give me Lamar or Kyler.
That's what I say. I'm like, if you get Lamar and then pick a wide receiver, that's it.
What do you got against Kyler?
Kyler's fine. Lamar's better. I mean, Lamar's better than Kyler, right? I need to hear you say out loud that Lamar is better than Kyler.
Lamar is better than Kyler.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
You
love Kyler.
But I shill for Lamar.
You do.
You like the one that
like Lamar more than I do.
Yeah. Well, I can't get past the playoffs.
It's been pretty bad. A little James Harden-y.
Wow.
A little.
Harden is historically awful.
He is.
I don't
That's
know.
why I said a little Harden-y, not full-fledged Harden-y.
I mean,
bad.
Harden is the comp.
Like bad.
That's
bad.
fine.
Yeah.
Like the comp.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Number 1 player option free agent. For who? Somebody that wants to lose?
No, that dude's opting in. He's not getting that money anywhere else.
He's rich. What's he? How many strippers and chicken wings can you eat? He's rich.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you want to win at some point?
I mean, at some point, if you don't think you're going to win, you might as well cash the checks, right?
With that kind of money, he could go buy a lifetime supply of lemon pepper seasoning and baby oil and cotton candy, and he's good. He could recreate that at the house anytime he wants to.
You got to be careful with the baby oil. It's,
Isn't that part of the spiel? I wouldn't know. That's not my style.
I don't know. I'm just.
Shane would know, but.
Don't put that crap on me.
It got Diddy in a little
Shane,
trouble.
That dude is foul. Shane, what is it with the cotton candy smell that's so alluring?
That's what I always do, and they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me.
How much? Okay, this is wild. I'm just ignoring Shane. It's fine. If you do you know off the top of your head what his career earnings are?
Who?
Harden.
I could do the math. I could math real quick.
Just give me like a gut guess.
341 mil.
372.
Yeah. That's extortion.
Yeah, he probably doesn't need the extra 30, but I bet he's going to take it.
So that's what I'm saying.
He's probably going to take it.
And I guarantee you he has one of those basements with a pole. Like you're fine.
Unless he can get 2 years 50 from somebody else, he's picking up that option.
Dude, they got to be.
I'm just telling you.
They got to be miserable.
People don't turn down $36 million for funsies. I don't care how many you got.
I'm just saying at some point you'd like to get and he clearly can't read the room, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you like to win?
I don't think self-awareness is like a
Dude,
real
he's going to
strong
be one of
quality
the
of his.
all-time forgotten great players ever.
Yeah.
Of any sport. Because
think
he's a turd burglar.
Because I think it's appropriate that he's forgotten. Like his greatness is kind of empty. What did it get anybody? Like for him to play the way he had to play to be great, you weren't going to win like that.
Yeah.
That just wasn't going to happen. So, I think it's appropriate that he's forgotten. Because, at this point, if he wins one at 37, what does that even mean for him, like his legacy?
Is that how old he is?
Next year, I think he's 37.
Man.
Been in the league. This next year will be 16 years.
You
know what I mean? So, it's kind of like if Malone would have gotten one with the Lakers. It's like, it doesn't mean anything for Malone.
All-time bad guy.
Yeah, terrible dude. He's like Diddy bad. Maybe not quite Diddy bad. Allegedly.
Hey, Shane, T-Max, he said, when I heard that drop, the Catch Me Outside girl, I thought my phone switched off the street.
That's what I always do, and they never catch me. Ain't nobody gonna catch me.
Just because you're too what? He and I were talking about Texas yesterday.
You and T-Mac?
Yeah. Do you know what people sleep on with Texas?
What's that?
Because he got into something I have to ask you. Because even I need clarity. Okay. And we'll get to this when we get to the schedules, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he proposed something that got me thinking. The original question was something to the effect of, hey, why do some of these teams in your breakdowns get the benefit of the doubt and some do not?
Sure.
And I was like, that's fair.
It is.
The way that I read it is, it seems like with you, the more you know about something, the less you are to extrapolate.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think you feel like you know Illinois, so they aren't going to get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. I also think they made their leap last year, so I'm not going to extrapolate much past
But
that.
I didn't get it with Indiana and USC, who are in very similar situations, but they
a lot of flux.
Aren't really getting the benefit of the doubt. So then I gave the example. I said, it's kind of like Arch, right? We assume best case scenario with Arch because we haven't seen.
Yeah, we don't know.
We haven't seen enough of him.
It's very small. Honestly, not that dissimilar from Damon Williams in terms of sample size.
So he's a lot smaller, though.
No,
I
is.
think, right? His sample size. What are we talking about? Snaps? We're talking about 2.5 games, right?
I don't think it's that much smaller. I'll check.
And it might not be. Anecdotally.
Yeah,
because Arch. Shoot, Texas fans were clamoring for Arch
because he played 2 games and then some garbage time.
Yeah,
when Ewers was out. So I'm gonna go by past tense because I don't know if I'm gonna find or past. So
the great Ravi Googling.
Damon threw 100 passes last year and 83 rush attempts.
Okay,
we'll find Arch here in a second here.
Yeah, that's fine. You found that awful quick.
I'm just trying. I had it. It was in my history from looking up Washington a couple days ago.
Oh.
So it was pretty fast.
Nice.
Google was helping me out there.
Big cash.
Arch threw 90 passes and 25 rush attempts. So they're in the same neighborhood. I think.
So you didn't like that wasn't mine. The Big Ten huddles comps. I wanted you to look at that closely. It's off.
I did look at it closely. I think it's really. I don't even think it makes sense.
Hey Shane, if I get you a graphic, how quick before somebody significantly smarter than us, Rico?
Can you send it to Rico? He could probably figure out how to get it up.
Yeah, I don't have Rico on speed dial.
I'll send it to him. You sent it to me, right? Yeah, I'll send it to him.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How come I don't? Are you gatekeeping Rico's number?
No, you can have his number. It's gonna be faster than me giving you the number on the air, and then
because I want to tell him all the things that you say behind his back.
I tell all that stuff to his face.
You did tell him that during the wing contest. I thought it was a little cruel though. Not quite Bobby Brown, but
listen, I love Rico, but he's gonna catch some strays,
I feel bad for Rico this morning.
I do too. You know what's funny? So I'm texting him last night for a little while during the game before he shut it down.
Did you?
Reasonably so.
Did you see Wyatt's cheese comment?
No, what did he say?
Here you go.
Oh no.
I can't read it.
I don't even see
It's
it.
right here, special. Yep.
Wyatt.
Yep.
He can say that. Neither of us can say that.
I mean, no one.
Neither of us can say that. Like, I'll venture into the Asian waters a little bit, but I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, I think something's clearly wrong with Wyatt.
He's funny. He's getting comfortable.
Yeah, I need you to. We need to get into this before we.
I sent it to Rico. I'll see what he can do.
Is he up?
Hopefully, he's supposed to be working on the show.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I hope he's awake.
Working my life away.
Well, sometimes I get him and Austin confused with their responsibilities.
Yeah, they mostly work on it together. I don't know exactly who does what. Rico's mostly graphics, though.
Oh, can you imagine those two? Do they sit next to each other, or do they just kind of do their own
No,
thing?
they sit next to each other.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, so right now they're downstairs because usually they're on second floor because they're producers.
Mhm.
Right now they're downstairs because of the construction. And I'll be honest, not a lot gets done when you walk through their area.
Dude, that has got to be Ringling Brothers, don't it?
It's a circus.
Who focuses?
They're actually not bad when they're just themselves, but as soon as somebody walks by, it's a whole thing.
Huh.
It's a whole thing.
And
they're right in that front room there, so everybody walks by.
I used to like Chutes and Ladders. I feel like that would be like the board game, walking through there.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I've ever played Chutes and Ladders.
It's pretty cool. I have a short attention span, so it was very...
Not a big Monopoly guy. We got to play for 3
I
days.
like Monopoly, but I still, to this day, think my sister cheats.
Well, probably. Siblings cheat at board games a lot. At least they used to.
And I don't know how, because we divvied out the starting cash the same, that she could always win.
Just stealing money while you're looking away.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was the karma from picking the right pieces. She's a big Toto person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a top hat guy.
The little dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
I tried to switch it up sometimes and go to the race car. Then we play with my brother, and he'd always take the top hat.
Mm-hmm. So you had to be the race car?
Yeah. And I was in a hurry to crash.
Crash and burn.
Yeah. I want to get to that.
Yeah.
And I want to also get to the differences and how we're giving the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. It is a fair question to ask. And a lot of it, we'll can dive into it, but a lot of it for me is just gut.
It's like the girl you see in, right? It's the Nick Barr reference, right? The girl in the sunglasses, with the hat.
Yeah.
You assume she's good looking because you don't really know what she looks like.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing we do. I mean,
I don't, by the way, but
we do that with a lot of things, whether it's like
although I am a big hat guy,
recruits or draft prospects. Like we project best case scenarios.
Yeah, that's why you love. Justin, I'm the Monopoly king. Justin, you're really so they have like these new versions now. Apparently, like Monopoly is the thing still. Does it still take 16 hours?
I don't know. I know they've got a version on your phone.
It doesn't seem like as much fun.
I don't think so either.
I'd like to play it on the television. I know they have that too.
It's called Monopoly Go, I believe.
Monopoly Go. There you go.
But there's like a Star Wars one, all that kind of stuff.
Of course, it's a Star Wars.
I did have a Star Wars like actual board game Monopoly when I was a kid. It had like little pieces with like Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker stuff. It's cool.
I don't even know who you are.
Man, I like Star Wars. What do you want to do?
I still have mine.
Of course you do. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live.
Clear.
Big swing. Yeah, well, Santino came out and he got out of a bases loaded situation and then come out and hit that leadoff bomb and kind of just sets the tone for the whole game. And we kept building on that and we scored 6 in the first and we didn't let up.
Hey, what does it mean for this team to get back to the state finals? Third straight year, Ace is going to play for a state championship.
It means a lot. That's kind of the standard that's been set at East these past 4 years. So getting back to it, that's the standard. And job's not finished yet.
Was that your first leadoff home run as a Spartan?
I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I got switched to the leadoff midway through this year, so that's pretty cool.
Just what's been that approach for you, switching from that 2 spot to that leadoff?
Honestly, I just come out and be aggressive. Try and find a barrel, sets the tone for the whole game if you come out and you hit a ball hard. So.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they had him loaded with one out and their best hitter up, and Santino made a really good pitch to get him to pop out and got out of it. So we came off the field with some momentum, and then Troy jump-started the offense. We love our speed, and we kind of sped them up there. We beat out a couple force plays. We did a great job as trail runners, and yeah, that was really nice to get off to a good start versus a really good team.
Taking it back to the state championship, what does it mean for this group?
Got to get ready for Friday. I mean, we have players who expect to win. I'm so blessed to be their coach. They work so hard to be successful in situations like this. So we're going to enjoy it for about 30 minutes and get ready for whoever comes out on top on Friday.
Give me that cheddar, bacon, Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
This whole thing like started back in
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you keep those seatbelts fastened and make them click. It prevents injuries and saves lives, but only if worn properly. It's a message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. I would also like to publicly apologize for Shane cutting off the Miller North interview before it got started in the break there.
My bad. I just happened to say, Shane, let's come back. We have so much to talk about.
We do have a lot to talk about. And
you think I'm weird just injecting myself in public.
Well, yeah, but I'm a type 1 diabetic, so it's a little more socially acceptable here. I don't know what your excuse is.
God, I can't stand you.
What?
It's just like this free-flowing snark.
Yeah.
I mean, it pretty much sucks.
Yeah, I don't really know how people deal with me, if I'm being honest.
Well, they can take walks during breaks.
just go touch grass.
Do you like how I flipped real quick, though?
You did. You turned it around.
I immediately came back.
It's like touching the grass was magic for you. Something you're just like, got it. What?
You're not. I'm not doing it.
I don't even know what we're talking about.
And apparently, Todd, for as cool as everybody thinks you are, if you're cheating at cards, we're not. We're not riding.
Yeah, that's diabolical.
So apparently, he's not an Open Range fan. The movie.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Is that Kevin Costner?
Yeah, and he was pissed that the little dude.
Yeah, you don't like card cheats up in there,
man.
Gotta be careful.
I knew that movie was gonna be good.
You gotta watch out. Those people.
Even though Annette Bening, she sucked. Like, I don't know why they used her. I know, squirrel. Anyway, there's lots of things I want to start with. Number one. Oh, bros against wives? Like, I'll take that. That's fine. No. Yeah. No, that's good. That's good, Todd. I would probably do that. I probably would do that. If my brother, I don't know if my brother would have been a good partner, though.
What if he have helped you? Would he have like gotten you the signals like Todd's brother?
No, My brother would have been like, can't do that.
Straight and narrow.
No, don't. No, he's an envelope pusher, but that I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, not unless he's playing against my sister.
Siblings can bring out the worst.
Yeah, those two were cute. I don't know if I want to start with on 3. I don't know if I want to start with these quarterback tiers. I may save the quarterback tiers because they get into the schedules.
Yeah, let's save the quarterback tiers. Give Rico a chance to get that put together.
I'm gonna need Rico to get on his game. All the kind things that I said about Rico are getting ready to be out the window.
Yeah,
I'm just looking for a reason to be mad at him. I thought I had one yesterday, and then you talked me off the ledge.
I feel bad for him just because I think he's kind of going through it this morning.
That's a tough loss.
So I was.
That's a really tough.
No,
loss.
that's a terrible one. And I was talking to him a little bit during the game. And,
why?
Well, he texted me, so I texted him back.
Yeah, you sound like such a wiener. Like, really? He texted me.
I mean, I wasn't gonna.
And you don't have to drop. You don't have to. I keep telling you this, Shane. You don't have to put the ed on there. It's not texted.
He texted.
No, he just texted.
No, it's past tense.
Not doing it. I like.
You put the.
What'd you call him?
Oh.
He hit you with the old garden tool.
So you'll say whores, but not hoes?
I didn't say anything.
You said whore last week.
So again, Ari, it needed context.
You're not gonna go a hose or a no?
Yeah, I think that word is
worse?
I think it's crossing the line.
Really?
Yes.
They all seem like in the same neighborhood.
That's not true. I'm pretty animate about this. And it's weird because I'm not. I know you're going to be like, are you sure? I'm not of the female persuasion, so I shouldn't get to say it.
Yeah.
But they seem to have differing tiers.
I don't know. They all seem like they're in the same neighborhood to me. I don't know.
I'm telling you, I feel like I'm not qualified, but I feel like WHORE is the least offensive.
Yeah.
People said it forever, like in the 1700s, the 1800s, like the 1900s.
I mean, the F word's pretty old too, right?
Just like the regular old F word?
Yeah. That's pretty old too.
Yeah, but
just
no one can say that.
Saying if you can in England. They dropped that thing on TV.
The F word?
Yeah, it's like barely it's like crap.
Huh.
In the UK, the F word is basically like.
It's not on the BBC detective shows I watch.
It's on a lot of just like network television. They don't care.
So Ravi here for.
I'm just saying, contextually, it.
I feel like that's the least offensive.
I don't know. I really don't. I'm not being.
It's better than the S word. It's better than the derivative, like what she just said. That's like with the Ebonics.
Yeah.
It's better than.
My whole life, I've just always thought they were all the same.
Well, they mean the same in essence, but they don't all like sticks and stones.
They don't land the same.
Yeah, it's not as big a stick or stone.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really gave it that much thought. I was like.
Which, by the way, I was watching Rambo last night, and I don't want to hear the why. But when
at least it was the regular Rambo, not the knockoff.
When
Rambo.
Galt was shooting him on the helicopter,
yeah.
and Rambo just put that rock in his left hand,
mm-hmm.
He threw that thing with his left hand.
Yeah,
he never ever shot or threw his knife again with his left hand.
Yeah, I don't think he's left-handed.
So he's pretty ambidextrous, and he hit the helicopter right in the windshield. What are the odds?
Yeah.
Galt was a turd, by the way. He's not a nice sheriff.
Not a good guy.
No.
Is that because he hurt his right side when he fell down the trees?
His arm was hurt.
Yeah.
That's okay.
But then it was fine 20 minutes later.
After he stitched it up.
Yeah, after he stitched it
up.
up.
How do you remember the nuances?
Because I like that movie.
Big Rambo guy.
That movie's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Anywho, context. Sorry.
Context matters.
I'm back.
Like the context of having.
Are we I don't really want to get into the Rhule thing, but my man did DM me, so I feel like if he's asking me a question.
Yeah, you can ask the question.
Yeah. So, welcome to my inbox. What, dude? This thing is screwing up. I'm over this phone. So Jaden, he says, DB, do I need to read the big fan part?
No, you don't have
I'm
to.
not. I'm just going to get to the. Of course. Why would I read anything that somebody had nice to say about me? Because Ravi, of course, is not going to like that.
Oh, I thought it was nice about us.
He did say big fan of this. He said listen to the show every morning. But he said big fan, brother. Like,
Yeah, but then he said you guys are hilarious.
yeah, well,
So
a lot of that's made up. From a standpoint of a media guy, so I think this is our opinion. He said the On3 guy writing that story, he's talking about Ari Wasserman, seems way out of bounds. If you actually look at the context, it's clear what he meant. Is this just what media is these days? I mean, he's smart because it will get him clicks, but goodness, man. Can you imagine it? So there's two things going on here. Well, there's multiple. Number one, I think it's low-hanging fruit when people say it's just to get clicks, because some people don't get paid by clicks, some people do. So to say, like, we have a I wouldn't call him a peer. There's somebody else in the media that kind of does what we do. That I think he's total, hey, come visit my TikTok page. I'm going to say as many stupid things as possible. That's different than somebody saying something that they have an opinion on that you may not agree with. It can sometimes mean the same thing.
Yeah, I do think there can be some overlap there. Obviously, anything that drives engagement's better for the brand. And
But you didn't particularly like this because you shot this one down early. You go and you had your arms folded like the there's a term for that the FBI uses when you try to control conversations with your nonverbal cues.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give you any ammo.
I just do it because my hands get cold sometimes.
Whether you sit up in your seat, whether you slouch in your seat, whether your arms are hanging at your side, whether you cross. There's lots.
Here, I'll sit up for you.
There's lots of. No, that's a power pose when people want to assert the fact that they're not really vibing with the line of conversations that's going on in the room. When you reposition to straighten your back, it's like, I'm listening to what this idiot has to say. You're really saying that with just your body language.
I do it because I'm trying to crack my back.
That's cute.
I do. I try and like lift
you
off
did.
a little
You
bit.
bristled right away. You're like, I can't do your voice because I want you to think I'm making fun of you. But
No, give
in
it a try.
essence, it was.
Give it a try.
It was clearly, if you listen to what he said,
Yeah.
he was being sarcastic.
Yeah, it
and
was-
by he, I mean Coach Rhule.
Yeah, it was tongue in cheek.
That's the term you use.
It was very similar. So I got mad at a person in our local media here. This was years ago.
Shocker.
And I'll say who it is because I mean, it's fine. I don't have a problem with him now. But I didn't really know him that well at the time, and it was Robin Washut after a Creighton Nebraska game, where Nebraska had finally beaten Creighton after the long losing streak. I think it was like 8 or 9 years or whatever, and it was the first one that they beat them. And Coach Mack said something to the effect of, "Yeah, I mean, Nebraska was the more desperate team," and I thought it got taken out of context. I was sitting in the press room while it was happening. He wasn't taking a shot at Nebraska. Nebraska had been coming off of at least one loss, I think a couple. Creighton was kind of on a roll at the time, and he was just very matter of fact, like, yeah, they really dialed up for this one. They were the more desperate team. And it sort of turned into a clickbaity thing. I don't know if Robin did it on purpose. I don't know if that's just what it turned into. I know sometimes editors will change headlines and stuff, so I don't know. But it turned into this very like, oh, Mac was taking a shot at Nebraska and Tim Miles. And part of it, I'm going to put on the consumer. Because if you're just a headline reader, you're going to get outraged about stuff that's not really being said. We ran into this a couple weeks ago or last week when we were talking about the Scott Frost thing, right? If you're just a headline reader or if you're just a tweet reader and you don't do any of your own, you're not a Berean, as you like to say, and do your own research and like get into the weeds on what's actually being talked about, you're going to get mad a lot about stuff that didn't really happen, right? So that's the first thing. I'm going to put a little bit on the consumer. The second thing is I do think that even in areas of the media that are not directly paid by click or by view or by impression, a lot of people will try and do catchy headlines to get engagement.
What we got accused of with the Frost segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not what happened at all. It really wasn't. And so
that's why you ran to defend Austin to say, hey, listen, I'm going to defend Austin in a little bit.
Yeah.
He put that up real time.
And had no idea where the conversation was going to
Yeah,
go.
no, I understand. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's why that's part
one of those things I'm like,
it clicked for you.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason why the initial graphic and promotion of it was kind of open-ended because he didn't know where the conversation was going to go. We didn't really either. Like, it wasn't scripted. I don't know if people know this. It's fairly off the cuff up here.
Yeah.
So
no way.
So, like, that's kind of where I start. Is part of it's on the consumer. You have to be a little bit better. Like, you always tell me, don't let people off the hook. I'm not going to let people off the hook. You got to be a little bit better. If you want to know what Coach Rhule was talking about in context, go watch the interview, right? That's one thing. Second thing, I do think there are people in the media who do get a little clickbaity.
Yeah.
That want to go out there and be like, oh, this is an interesting thing. And if I take this a little out of context, I can make it seem like this, and I can get more views on my story and people, better for my brand, whatever. Doesn't directly get you paid dollars necessarily, but long-term down the line, it can. And I do think that Ari maybe was doing a little bit of that. I don't know Ari. I don't know his motivations. So I don't really want to.
It didn't look great though.
It didn't.
To delete the
tweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a little rough.
That's why I asked if you're a tweet deleter.
Only if I think I did something wrong.
Yeah. A few too many Mick Ultras.
I'm more of a seltzer guy, but it's funny because it's true.
100%. Zero joke in that. And listen, hey, knock yourself out. Everybody wants to consume their 90 calories and zero sugar differently.
Delicious.
Kind of weird. Hey, how many of those did you have? 32. How? Because it's not really alcohol.
90 calories, baby.
I just had 32 White Claws.
It probably wouldn't affect my play.
Not a chance.
Might be a little full. A little waterlogged.
I'm like, shoot, they were out of liquid IV.
But no, the context here does matter, and I think that it did feel like they were kind of going for cheap clicks at that point. And it got a couple of people asked me about it yesterday, and I go, I try not to do that. I know sometimes people
it makes me mad, and sometimes I have to understand that can sometimes be part of the deal.
Yeah.
Because what did you say to me last week? I know you're not a big. I hated your delivery, but you
surprise.
Well, you were saying it to like. I don't really know your intent, so I'm not going to pretend with that supposition. But you said it as though I didn't understand how our business works, which was kind of my takeaway. And I was like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
I just don't always like it. Because if that's me and you make me read the article, I'm like, why did you title the article that way?
Yes.
So, like, that kind of stuff bothers me.
No, I get that for sure. And it bothers me too. And that's part of the reason I think it's really hard. And some people try and do it anyway. I see it every day on ESPN when they're talking about the Steelers for the 800th day in a row and their quarterback situation. I think it's really hard to be clickbaity if you're on every day. Because at a certain point, people will just be like, hey, this is just empty calories.
Oh, is it still up, JR? I couldn't find it this morning.
So like
I'll take JR at his word.
I go to a certain point where I go, okay, I don't really, like, I try not to do that here because I don't think it serves us. Like, I'm not so principled that I'd be like, hey, if this directly served my interest, I can't say I wouldn't do it.
What's
I don't
funny?
know.
So you know what really, okay. I just processed this real time.
Yeah.
So what really upsets me is not the fact that there's going to be misrepresentation. It's I don't trust that people will go back and get the information, so I don't want to have to explain it.
Yeah.
I'm like, God, now I got to walk through this again? Or do I just let this ride?
That's the on the consumer part.
Because I know people aren't going to hold it. Like, they just won't go back and get it.
Yeah, they won't go back and watch the hour-long interview.
Well, you did have a 53-minute segment.
Yeah.
49 of it was you.
It was less than that. Maybe.
I don't think we took a break till like 7:53.
No, we didn't. But I mean, you talked more than that.
Yeah,
a little more than that.
I got my best 7 minutes of your life, Ronnie.
But so I don't. That's part of the problem is I don't trust people to go back and get it, and so
because he did say, like he wasn't taking him seriously.
Yeah,
like Ari said that.
Yeah, but the headline is what it is, and that's the thing is. It's not just that I don't think people went back and watched the interview. I don't think a lot of people went and read the article. I think they see the headline and the tweet, and that's it. And I think they stop there because I don't know if that particular article is behind a paywall, Jay, or not. I have On3, so it just goes. I don't know if it's behind the paywall or not.
Yeah, that's again same way.
So it might be behind.
I apologize, Justin.
So it might be behind the paywall. It might not be. I really don't know. But if it is behind the paywall especially, then you see the headline. You don't bother going to read the article because either you don't have a membership or you don't want to log in or whatever. And then you certainly don't go back the next step and go watch the interview. So you're just sat there with a headline and it goes, Matt Rhule wants a 40-team playoff?
Yeah.
Or whatever it ends up being.
I just, and because what happens is it's just embarrassing because at the end of the day, then it turns into, oh, you can tell who hasn't won enough games. Then the joke is ultimately.
It ends up being about Matt Rhule and about Nebraska.
Yeah,
and,
than anything
and the
else.
Paul Feinbaum, why don't you stay in your lane before you start talking about playoffs and all this kind of stuff, right? And so then it gets into this whole other secondary market of, again, we've talked about like derivatives and stuff before where it's like, hey, this started as a good idea. Long form interview with Matt Rhule with our guys over at Husker Online. Great idea. And then it goes to, hey, Ari is writing an article where he clearly states that he knows Matt Rhule wasn't serious and discusses the topic. Again, not a bad idea. It's a derivative of the Husker Online interview. And then you have the tweet, which is a derivative of the article, and that's all that people consume. And if you don't go get the underlying stuff, it's terrible. And then you have these conversations off of the tweet that have nothing to do with the tweet about Matt Rhule and whether or not he even has the right to talk about playoffs or not. Well, guess what? He's a high-profile coach in a Power 2 conference. He can talk about whatever he wants. He's not Vanderbilt, man. I don't know what you're doing.
And so this is weird. And maybe Jace is going to be like the olive branch, the tie that binds, that keeps Tony on the good side permanently. Because sometimes I got to give him over to you. Then sometimes I want him back.
Yeah.
And sometimes I got to give him over to you. All right, so we'll let Jace be the olive branch because he clearly is the best graph of the bunch. But he says, I'm torn on this because in some ways the fan base going after Ari made it a bigger deal and gave it more engagement. But on the other hand, it was nice to see the fan base rally for Rhule because that's rare these days. That was my takeaway last night. I'm like, fudge, like we're pretty okay when we're on a unified front.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I like the unified front thing,
Yeah,
right?
I'm okay with that.
I just had to have this conversation in my own house. Like when you that's too much info, but like the unified front and the picture of a unified front,
it matters.
It does.
It
does.
So I think the reason I didn't go there was because I don't understand why there wouldn't be a unified front with Rhule. I get that there's not. I get that there's.
Come on, man.
No, I understand, but I don't get it. I get there are people that are out there in these different factions. I don't know how you can objectively look at this program and not just through a jaded lens of.
How much of this has to do with his sentiment on Rhule a couple weeks earlier?
What do you mean? Like how much of this with
Ari's? Yeah, like how we feel about him.
Oh, that's probably fair.
Okay.
Like this is and I do this a lot, is if somebody gets me upset about something else, I will pick at other things.
You're fantastic at that.
Like once I'm out, I will find any reason.
You want the laundry list
to just
started the show
to just be like, nope, you suck. That sucks. You're an idiot.
There's some Hurleys and some Sanders
I
out
was
there.
Dion and Dan Hurley are great examples of this, right? Like I get it. I'm at least a little self-aware. Like I know that this happens.
2 rings.
And so I do think Hurley's a bad dude, but that's fine. But I think there's a little bit of that with Ari as well. Is where he's like, we don't really know if we like this guy. And then you start picking at me, go like, he said this and he said this and he was being malicious and whatever. And maybe he was, I don't know. Maybe he was, but he's not going to get the benefit of the doubt from Nebraska fan base anymore.
No.
Like that's just not going to happen.
The real-time clips, Sasha's right, and she writes, this is poor radio when I'm just only reading and not saying what she said. Sasha, hopefully I can say this. She said, to be honest, that's why real-time clips for the show can be tough. It's great for viewership, but if you do operate on some trust that who's ever consuming the information is going to go back and get it.
Yeah.
Because it was the best that I could do. It was last week or 2 weeks ago to not get in the weeds. And I let it go for probably 10, 12 hours. But I kind of landed on, that's cool. Opinions are fine. I'm going to respect that. But you don't get your own set of facts. However the information makes you feel, I don't want to judge. I'm not going to tell you how to fan. I'm not going to tell you how to do any of that. But what you don't get to do is not take the time to consume the information and then be matter of fact about what the information is.
Yeah, you don't get to have an opinion on it if you decide not to consume it.
Like,
that's fine.
Okay.
If you don't want to consume it, that's okay. But your opinion now about it now becomes invalid.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it works.
It's just not. It's just.
That's just how it works. You don't get to have opinions on things you decide not to consume.
You'd think, but like, I mean, I think maturity plays a role.
Yeah.
Right? You have to be willing to say, yeah, you know what? I'm uneducated. I'm going to choose to be uneducated. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, it's the willful ignorance that bothers me.
Well, unless they're acknowledging that that's the umbrella that they choose to get their shelter under. I'm not knocking that.
I am if you still have an opinion.
Just don't try to tell me it's anything more than that.
Yeah.
I'm cool with
like
that.
If you're willful ignorance and then still arrogantly opinionated, like, I'm out. All the way.
Don't you go peeing on my shoes and telling me it's raining.
You're probably getting the mute button.
Yeah. I haven't used that in I forgot about that.
I mute people a lot because if you block people, then they like screenshot it and they're like, this guy blocked me. Me.
Yeah, I'm not a blocker.
I used to block some people, but then they gave the mute, and so I went mute instead.
Yeah. Kugler taught me about the mute a long time ago. I don't use it enough.
Yeah, you probably should.
People don't get at me like that.
That's good.
Although somebody called me washed up yesterday. Sure.
You fight him?
I'm 50.
Fight him?
Nah. Heck no. Listen, I try to tell this to people. When you got to guard your energy.
Mm-hmm.
Conflict is for intimacy, right? When I want to get to know you better. I want to know more. Tell me more. If you find yourself in conflict and that's not the end game, then you have to move on from it. It's just become background noise. It's distracting.
Yeah. You're just
Right?
fighting.
That's what it turns into.
Yeah.
It's just fighting. It's just negative vibes. Like, okay.
Coming up next, we'll get through the teams Nebraska's conflicting with in the Big Ten, middle of the pack. Some of the ones on their schedule this year. That's DBM Ravi Lulla. It's Hurrdat Sports Live.
You know, I've said this all along when people ask me questions about Jordy, whether it's been a game earlier in the season. I just am not surprised. I never would say, oh, I think she's going to do this, this, or this. But when she does do this, this, and this, it never surprises me because what's so cool about her, I mean, a lot of athletes could learn so much from her. She immerses herself in the moment. And she is not focused on numbers, accolades. She's focused on one mission, and it's doing whatever she can to help the team win. And she's just talented enough that she can do a lot of things to help the team win. And we certainly are trying to maximize how to use her, but also how to save her. You notice, like, it doesn't make any sense to pinch run Jordy, but in the 6th inning it does because she's got to go back out there potentially in the 7th.
Give me that cheddar, weekend Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Well, I mean, it's just that's what I told the team, and you know, you've watched us play this year. We're far from perfect, but we don't back down from the fight. And we get backed into a corner, we tend to come out swinging. So there were a lot of moments in that game where it wasn't going our way. We just stayed in it. And that was kind of indicative there at the end where it looked like we were getting ready to win. I mean, Brumball's ball, if it's another couple of feet to the left, it gets in the corner and it's game over there. But wasn't to be. But, we said that's why you keep playing. You set up another inning. Broderick, did a nice job. I think he got to 3-1 on the leadoff hitter there. I mean, and Sanderson makes a great play at first base. I mean, that's a kind of a hidden big play in the game as well. So made enough winning plays there at the end after making it hard on ourselves early in the game with some silly stuff.
Aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi. Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you this weekend you can get, as you can every Saturday and Sunday, 75-cent wings right here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, either La Vista or Gretna locations. And
I'll take it.
Great place to come out and watch the Nebraska Softball Super Regional as well. Get out here, watch some Nebraska softball, have some cheap wings, and enjoy yourself.
We were comparing rates, my friend Brett and I. 75 cents is pretty cheap, relatively speaking, for when people technically put their wings on sale.
Yes.
I just saw a place the other day that was 10 for 10, and I don't know how you do math.
It's $1 per wing. Quick math.
It's 25 cents more than here.
Yeah, it is.
They all left Central City's game and came here yesterday.
I'd venture to guess.
Party of 11.
I'd venture to guess.
But you'd have been proud of me.
The wings here are better.
I didn't feel good, so I didn't come.
Yeah?
Yes. Middle of the day with Brett.
Why would I be proud of you?
It's flickering.
Because I was taking care of myself.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you take care of yourself sometimes.
It was tough, though.
Yeah?
Oh, I debated. I was like, do I? I could go and pretend to be social.
See,
but I don't feel good.
That was kind of the balance there, is you don't really like being social, so you going home.
Well, that's my dude, though.
Sort of my default. And then, but you also don't like to take care of yourself.
Hey,
so.
He said something yesterday.
You know.
So we're talking, and coincidentally, Dallas was there. Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
So, because Malcolm plays after. And so Brett and I were talking, and it's just the two of and one of his buddies whose son plays on the team too. So it's kind of just like this 3-man corner. It's very cold coming out of that corner. And we were just talking about making fun of the fact that you said I only really associate with
jerks,
borderline idiots. And I'm like, that's not true. Like,
I didn't say idiots. I said jerks.
I said, well, Brett's probably the one guy that has never really been is not borderline. And he goes, well, I don't know about that. And we kind of just joked about it for a second. And then I go, well, part of just hanging out is sometimes you can just not say anything and it's fine. And he goes, yeah, I mean, sometimes we can sit here and watch an inning and a half of baseball and not say a word. And it's like, it's comfortable. And in my head, because I'm so process oriented, I'm like, am I talking too much? Is that a hint? Is he telling me to zip it? Why would he give that example of not talking during the course of an inning?
Probably not.
It wasn't, because I had to go back in my head, and I was like, well, I haven't said anything. In my head, I'm thinking, why did I buy this terrible brand of seeds? This is horrible. That's the only thing I was thinking. It was bad.
Get bad seeds.
Who bought Fisher? Who bought Fisher sunflower seeds?
Oh, I don't know. Like what company?
Yeah. Fisher needs to. That was my go-to. I get it. I'm not going to hate on you other brands, but there's one of you guys that's really popular, and you're El Horrible. I'm just saying.
Not a big David's guy?
No, David's is fine.
Okay.
David's has a ton of flavors, like 37,226 maybe.
Fisher is a ConAgra company.
Did David's buy Fisher? Like, what happened to Fisher sunflower seeds?
I don't know.
They were the GOAT.
They put it both. ConAgra produces both Fisher and David.
Okay, I feel like sunflower seeds have gotten like chicken wings. You reach a point of diminishing returns where they're too big and they don't taste good. I don't need my sunflower seed to be the size of an almond.
No, I actually prefer them to be a little bit smaller so they're easier to like work with.
I don't know what it is, but
I do like some of the flavors though.
I'm not a flavor guy, but I'm not opposed to it either. I mean, knock yourself out. I'm not judging. You want your nacho taco supreme or dill habanero or
no? I liked the barbecue ones.
No, blue cheese crumble,
a little mesquite.
Fisher was the go-to though.
The ranch was pretty good.
See, that's probably the most popular flavor that I'm out on.
Yeah,
I do not do ranch.
Yeah, I like ranch. The dill pickle ones are pretty good.
Overrated.
I liked them.
It's so strong.
Yeah, you have to find ones that aren't super strongly.
I do these recipes and stuff, and sometimes they call for pickle juice, and they say a tablespoon. I'm like,
you got to be careful.
You mean a micro drip?
Yeah, you got to be careful there.
Want to eat fried pickles?
Nah. I mean, I do like fried pickles, but
I think we got to do the quarterback graphic. Is Rico like alive and kicking?
Rico, do we have the quarterback graphic?
Alive and kicking.
Because I do think this is going to go right into the.
It does, because the Big Ten huddle they've like taken over for like. Are they the new Boomer?
Oh yeah.
And where's Boomer?
Big Game Boomer.
Yeah, where's Big Game Boomer?
I don't know.
Has anybody put out a APB for Big Game Boomer? They do a lot of retweeting, but where are their lists?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's list season.
It is list season.
But anyway, Shane, I'm going to need you to put your little grubby mouth in that microphone and say, do we have the graphic or not? Do we? Don't we?
He just logged out, so maybe it's this one. I mean, I'm just going to throw it up there.
That is, but is that real? No.
That's not the quarterback one. That's the next one. Rico's logging in. He'll figure it out.
Hey, I want to know how you can see that.
Oh, it pops up in the bottom of the screen here. Since I'm on the... Do you see it on yours? Is it on yours?
Do you see it on mine?
No, it's not on yours.
I want to be able to see it.
Well, you have to log in as Hurrdat.
Oh, I'm not doing that. Does that mean I have responsibilities?
I don't know. I just logged in and Hurrdat one day because I had to start the stream on my own, and then it never logged me out, so I'm here.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. That's why.
There we go.
All right. So as we take a look at this graphic, thank you, Rico. I'm glad your Knicks are going to be okay. I like it like that, Rico. You can make
you
can
leave. You can leave it big, Rico. Thank you.
So I sent you these tiers.
Yeah.
And I thought this was interesting because not only did I not agree with it, but it also is kind of the catalyst for this discussion point that we're having for.
Yeah. I don't even think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, well, where would you like to stay? Such strong opinions, Ravi.
Well, I mean, I'm going to start probably with Moore in Oregon.
Okay. So the categories, there's top of the class. There's only one school that is in the quarterback that's at the top of the class.
Can I pause you real quick?
Of course.
Press pause. So I'm assuming because of the way that it is structured that some of I don't automatically assume waiting is hard is better than second time's the charm, but just because of the order that it's put
I
in.
understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. I just want to make sure we were looking. I'm going top to bottom.
I'm just reading.
In addition to the categories.
I'm just reading what the categories are. I didn't necessarily slot them.
Okay. Because I slotted them top to bottom in addition to the categories. Because I think that's,
so you re-rank them given.
No, I think he ranked them. Like, I think the categories are what they are, but I also think this is the order he views the quarterbacks.
See,
that's how I took it.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like, do you see how I could see it that way? Like, I think he thinks Aller's the first, and then the next tier is Williams, Sayin, and Underwood.
I see. I don't.
That's how I took it.
I don't think so. But we can process that.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Because I don't know why you do it top to bottom like this otherwise.
Yeah. You're going to give me pause.
Because that was my real pushback. Because the categories kind of are what they are.
So why is Wiley Veterans worse than Waiting is Hard?
Because I don't think that he thinks much of Cadillac Manis.
No. See, but that's totally implied.
Right. But because there's nobody else in the category.
But why is Waiting is Hard
Again, we're doing the
worse than
we're projecting based on lack of information.
Okay. All right. So top of the class is Penn State.
Yeah.
Drew Aller.
Which I don't think anybody's going to argue with.
Okay. Young pups. Washington, which is Williams. Ohio State, which is Sands. And Michigan, which is Underwood.
Yeah, we assume.
Is the next tier. But I don't get the sense that those are the next best group of quarterbacks.
That's why I push back.
See, I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know why you would do it this way otherwise.
Well, I have to ask him or her. Excuse me, or them.
If that's just the categories and not the actual ranking, I don't really have a problem with that.
I'm just looking at it for what it is.
Yeah.
Waiting is hard is Oregon. That would be more.
Yeah.
Which is third. So we're clearly talking about these in chronological order. The next is second times the charm, meaning year 2 for these guys as full-time starters, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Dylan and Nico.
And maybe first year didn't go quite as well as you would have hoped.
Again, I did not extrapolate, but I get the charm thing.
Yeah. Like
right?
second times the charm.
Because I look at it like year 2, here we go.
I look at second times the charm is because if you say third times the charm, you're like, the first 2 tries didn't go how I wanted them to.
Yeah.
So that's I'm assuming there, but yeah.
And then because if I'm looking at ranking the deal, I probably would put consistency and second times the charm ahead of
the young pups.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would too. That's why
So that's why I don't think it's order.
I think it is, and I think he's just bad at it.
Oh. Robbie here for not thinking well of people. Now that's
on brand.
That is very on brand for you. Okay.
A lot of times I assume the worst.
So consistency.
Yeah.
Now this was my first pause for you.
Yeah, this one's dumb.
So strong takes.
Part of it's dumb.
Consistency. Illinois with Altmaier.
That one makes sense, although I think if this is an order, that's underslotting him. I could make the argument that Altmaier could be in the same category.
But I'm also not operating under the supposition that it's in order. There's no way this is in order.
I think it is.
No, Robbie, it's not.
You want me to DM him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will. But so I will say you can make the argument that Altmaier might be the only other person that has an argument to belong in the top of the class category.
That's fine.
Just for what it's worth.
But again,
I think consistent is underselling.
I keep saying this
Altmaier
to you guys and gals, and I don't know if you know what I'm talking about or like the relevance, but it comes up all the time. How you feel about Altmaier is exactly what I've been saying about how you feel Illinois was as a football team last year. If you think they're meddling, middle of the pack, not very good, there isn't going to be anything about this year that changes your opinion because it's the usual suspects. But if you think Illinois was good, then it changes how you feel about Altmaier. That's why I keep saying they're the one team with 18 starters that didn't wow you. They matter the most on how good you think they were.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay,
that's fair.
Okay. So, but also in this class is Mendoza.
His DMs aren't open, by the way.
Do you have to follow him?
Oh, maybe. I'll give it a shot. Yeah, Mendoza. So Mendoza doesn't make a ton of sense for me in the consistent category because it's a new quarterback in a new system with a new OC. So that doesn't make a ton of sense to me.
Chillis in Michigan State is also in this category.
Super doesn't make sense to me. He
Not
did not have a good year.
Well, do you mean consistently? Consistently?
Yeah, maybe just mean consistently meh.
But that's not Altmaier.
No, it's not. So like that, this category does not make any sense. So
and
Maivia, yeah, or however you say it, yeah.
At SC, like not consistent yet.
No, I mean, first of all, he didn't play most of the year.
He probably should be in the second time's a charm thing.
Yeah.
So this is the one where I first I don't understand it.
Yeah, because I don't think.
But the more I do this, the more I definitely think it's not in order.
I don't think the last 3 inconsistent make sense in that category.
Ken hold that thought because he is channeling his inner Ravi.
Yeah.
The last one, if Illinois is going to make a jump, because that's your big.
I think they made their jump last year.
But that goes into T-Mac's question about why we choose to be best case scenario with some and not with others. And we'll get to that.
I mean, I think I am best case scenario in Illinois. Like I think they hit their ceiling.
So veteran, fresh starts, new landing spot in Evanston. Okay, makes sense for Northwestern.
Yeah, that's fine.
Makes sense.
Although it would also make sense for Iowa.
But I like this category for Iowa because it
Yeah.
says "Welcome to the big leagues." Because what's the thing that you've always said about Gronowski?
Yeah, it's a jump.
So I'm okay
Yeah,
with not
that's
putting
fine.
them in the other category because Iowa is the only school in that category.
Yeah.
What's in the box? Minnesota.
Yeah, we have no idea.
But I think I know what he means.
No, I mean we have no idea what Minnesota is gonna like. Who?
But I think we do know who Brosmer is.
So I think I messed that up. I don't think Brosmer has another year.
It's not Brosmer. It's the
Lindsey.
scramble guy. Yeah.
I said Brosmer
yeah,
earlier.
and you got me. It's not.
It's
not. You're right. Because I keep saying they found their quarterback. They found their running back. Like I knew it wasn't Brosmer.
Yeah.
He's actually in training camp.
Yeah,
by
yeah.
the way.
With
And
the Vikings,
I think in Minnesota.
he was with
I
the
think in
Vikings, yeah.
Minnesota.
Yeah, I screwed that up earlier this week.
So I think he's thinking, can they play a certain way in the offense where it's not stacked against him? Because he is more of a runner than a thrower.
He is, but he's attempted 5 passes.
He's more of a runner than a thrower.
Yeah, but I'm like,
so I think what's in the box means, okay, literally what's in the box, but also what are we getting here?
Yeah. What stylistically?
Yeah, I'm okay with that there too.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, now this one is interesting. Wiley veterans, just Calic Manis in Rutgers.
Feels sarcastic to me because I don't really know what else to.
I think he's better than you think. Then he doesn't suck.
I think he does suck. I think Calic Manis is bad.
Okay. Used to be top recruits. Now this makes sense. I mean, that's everybody in Maryland.
Yeah.
Right. And in particular at the quarterback spot.
Arguably, and I think somebody in the chat said that, arguably you could put Oregon in that category too.
With more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so if you could, I don't think it's in order, but used to be the starter, and obviously Purdue and Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So as I'm looking at the quarterbacks, and at least the perception, I don't think this is anywhere close to how you would rank your Big Ten incumbents.
It's certainly not how I would, which is part of the reason because I read it that way, that it was in order, that I immediately pushed back when you sent it to me. Because I looked at this as like, okay, I'm going top to bottom here.
Yeah, I don't think it's a top to bottom, even though when you see Maryland, Penn State, Wisconsin.
So that's part of it. Is like you see the bad teams at the bottom.
Yeah, but
teams that I perceive to have bad quarterback situations at the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I see all are at the top. I kind of like that lends to me being like,
but you wouldn't put Williams, Underwood, and Sands above.
I wouldn't put him above Altmaier. I wouldn't put him above Riola, and I probably wouldn't even put him above Nico. Like we know more about Nico than we do those other guys, or more,
or Underwood.
Or more, or Williams even.
Although,
for that matter.
More is not totally novel.
No, but Nico was better in his 1 year as a starter than Moore was.
Yeah.
So I think I would take Dylan and Nico over the 4 guys above them if it was in order.
Yeah. So fellas, so
Altmaier certainly.
I'm not giving the list credence in terms of being enamored by the rankings. It's the tiers, and do those tiers
the only tier that
impact how you look at the team's schedule.
The only tier that doesn't
that's the precursor to the exercise.
The only tier that doesn't really make sense to me is the consistent one. Altmaier is the only guy in that group that we know is consistent.
Because you're still lukewarm on Chillis.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
and you don't know. We've been through Mendoza. We've been through Mavea.
Yeah, I think Chillis is
Maeva. It's Maeva, I think.
I always say it a certain way. I don't know if that way's right.
Yeah,
I really don't.
This is one of the many times I need Greg Sharp because he nailed it.
Yeah, he would get you on the right path there. I mean, I
just say what he said.
I look at Chillis and I go, okay, sub 60 completion percentage, 2,400 yards. 13,
he was 13 to 11 too,
and
right?
11, right? Yeah.
Okay.
I like Dylan's talent better than Chillis's, so I look at Dylan a little differently, and I also look at that was Chillis's second year in major college football, not his first.
Shane, do you want to take a quick break before we knock out this first schedule? I want to do UCLA first.
You want? So we've got Brian Edwards at 8:43.
You want to wait?
You want to just keep rolling? Let's just roll through it.
Okay.
Is that all right?
Are you cool with UCLA first?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Let's just UCLA first.
because I think they're interesting. Now, the season win total for UCLA right now currently is 5.5.
Mm-hmm. Which sounds right-ish, I think.
Does it?
I mean, they were, 5-7 last year?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really think we know what to expect from them this year. I mean, every time they come up, what do I say? I don't know what to do with UCLA.
Yeah, because I still think you're torn on.
I'm torn on Nico.
Yeah.
I'm torn on that whole situation because I think it's – and let's not pretend like this doesn't happen, right? And I know at the danger of talking about Scott Frost again, he admitted this happened to him.
You're a child.
Where he goes, hey, I sacrificed some culture to get guys in that I thought would help me win right away. Maybe Deshaun Foster's doing that with Nico.
Yeah.
I don't know because I thought the culture was going in the right direction. That was the one thing I thought Deshaun Foster had going for him. And then, so I don't know what this Nico thing means. And I think that's
They're in the same win total range as Rutgers, Michigan State, Wisconsin.
I think that's
UCLA.
Huge wild card.
So UCLA to the over,
Mm-hmm.
over 5.5 is significant plus money. It is plus 140.
So they don't think that's happening.
Yes. And they do not. They do not think that that's happening.
So to that point, you've only got 6 returning starters, I believe.
Yep.
2 of them are on the offensive line. You got a couple wide receivers, and then you've got 2 defensive linemen that are coming back. Everything else is going to be new, right? So you're replacing a ton of guys. So I don't know how much of that culture that I think I was starting to like at the end of last year when they were playing well. I don't know how much of that.
I still think it matters.
It matters, but I don't know how much of it is already ingrained into these new guys, right? Or into these guys that'll be new starters. I don't really know.
Okay, so
I also don't know with the Nico situation.
How's that different, do you think, than with Nebraska and what you think about their culture?
I think Nebraska's culture is set, and I don't think they made any sacrifices. That's the big difference.
So for UCLA, this is for my T-Max of the world.
Yeah.
We talk best case scenario for one. And
for UCLA, I think
you just know more about Nebraska.
I do know more about Nebraska. I also think that there's an obvious situation here that feels like it could have compromised culture. And it was earlier than in Nebraska's process. Right? Like, the Nico thing has a shot to be a real problem.
I mean,
internally.
Childishly, I hope so, but now I don't.
Now you don't?
No.
Just so I'm wrong?
No. Because I think everybody's cheering for his demise. And I still don't think it's his fault. So I don't really want UCLA to implode anymore.
I think he was more of an active participant than you're giving it credit for, but that's fine.
I know, but it's because you don't like people, and I typically do.
You're giving benefit of the doubt there on him not being more involved.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
You want to go through a schedule real quick?
Yeah, because it's tough.
It is a tough schedule. You start off with Utah.
It's at home.
Everybody knows how I feel about Utah, though.
And they should be good.
Yeah. I'm going to take Utah there. I'm going to take Utah there.
Can I do something? I want to go back and see if I can find Utah's win projection. So Utah's season win projection is 7.5.
So they're expected to be better than UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's minus 130 to take over 7.5.
So they're leaning more towards 8 than 7.
Correct.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Okay. Just give me context.
Just off the,
trying to handicap you with the facts.
I haven't deep dove on Utah, but I trust that deep dove. I haven't gone in depth yet on Utah.
Okay.
So
threw me there for a second.
Yeah, no, it sounded wrong.
Shane, do we have a call? Because I can't.
Yeah, I said the screen's best.
No, we don't have a call.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to give Utah that one.
Okay. At UNLV.
I'm going to call that a win.
I'm
not saying it's a gimme.
UNLV's got a chance to be pretty good.
I'm not saying it's a gimme. I am going to give it a win.
Okay. New Mexico.
I'm going to call it a win.
They go to Evanston.
I think that's a win. I got them at 3-1.
At home against Penn State.
Loss.
On the road, October 11th, no bye, at Michigan State.
I'm going to call that a loss.
You come back home a week later and get Maryland.
I think that's a win.
Back on the road in Bloomington.
I think I gave this to Indiana.
Yeah.
When we did this.
You
So
did.
I'm going to stay there.
Well, that's not real rocket science either, is it? You take Bloomington, you take
Yeah,
Indiana.
I think Indiana's a little bit better and it's at home for them.
Now, this is tricky because they're one of two California teams that will get Nebraska off of their bye.
And it's
so they have
in
just come
Pasadena.
from they just come from Bloomington. They get a bye. Nebraska goes to Pasadena.
I think that's a loss.
Okay, taking Nebraska. At Columbus,
loss.
Washington comes down the street.
I'm gonna say that's a win.
And then you go down the street to Watts East and at SC.
I think USC is better than UCLA. I'm going to call that a loss.
Okay. So that's a 6-win team?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's about right. Okay. That's about how I view them.
6 wins. All right, do you want to take another double take because it's getting ready to get put in pen?
4, 5, 6. I've actually got them at 7 losses.
So 5 and 7?
Yeah, so I said
under the total.
Utah is a loss, Penn State, Michigan State, at Indiana, Nebraska, Ohio State. Yeah, I've got them at so I mean somewhere between 6 and 7.
Losses.
Yeah.
Just tell me wins.
Somewhere between 5 and 6 wins.
Above or below Rutgers?
What did I have Rutgers at yesterday?
5.
I think they're a little better than Rutgers.
Okay.
I think their schedule's a little tougher.
Shane, what do we have for the clock?
We still got some time.
All right.
About 5-6 minutes.
You want to go to SC or Minnesota?
Let's go to SC.
All right. Was this schedule tougher or easier than you thought?
I'll be honest, I didn't have like a presupposition on what I thought their schedule was. I was kind of going in blind.
It seems a little easier than I originally thought.
Okay. So first 2, easy here.
Missouri State, Georgia Southern.
2-0.
At West Lafayette.
I think Purdue's bad, so I'm going to call it a win.
Okay, then they get Michigan State at home.
I do think they're a little better than Michigan State. I'm going to call it a win.
Yeah, they're 4-0 out of the gate.
Yep. So that's a good way to start.
Like out of the gates, they're 4-0.
Yeah, it's a good way. That's
quality.
quality.
Your first toughie is at Champaign.
I think that's a loss.
Yeah, and you gave Illinois the win. So then you're at home for Michigan.
I think that's a loss. I think Michigan's going to beat them up.
Okay. You're on the road at Notre Dame.
I think that's a loss.
On the road in Lincoln.
So this one's really tough because it's after the bye.
Well,
they really, really need it. I think Nebraska's good, though, and it's in Lincoln. I'm going to give that one to Nebraska.
Okay. Back home, Northwestern.
That's a win.
You get Iowa to come to your place.
I think that's a win.
You remember that for Iowa.
I know.
On the road against Oregon.
That's a loss.
And you have them beating UCLA.
Yep. So it's 7 wins, I think.
I think it's 8.
Is it? UCLA.
They're 4-0 before going to Illinois. And then they lose. You have them losing 4 in a row.
Yeah, so it's 7.
7.
Yep. That's about what I thought of USC.
Is USC closer to 6 or closer to 8?
Probably 8.
4, 6, 8.
Closer to 8?
Yeah.
So they are above UCLA?
Yes.
Are they above or below Washington?
Above.
Oh, first team that's been jumped. So far you have Illinois, Indiana, USC, Washington, UCLA, Rutgers.
I view Indiana and USC very similarly.
Okay. And you both gave them closer to 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8, right in that neighborhood. I view them.
Does this sound right?
Yeah.
Illinois, Indiana, USC, Washington, UCLA. That's so far where we have the sandwich.
And then Rutgers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds right.
All right. Any do-overs as you're looking at this on the fly?
Not so far. I feel
Illinois, Indiana, SC, Washington, UCLA.
Yeah, like I said, I think Indiana and USC are basically interchangeable. Like I would put them basically on the same line, but yeah.
So do you know what SC's win total is?
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those teams that are jumbled up.
It's messy in the middle. It is messy. Like Lionel.
Is that the correct pronunciation?
I have no idea.
Lionel?
I think so.
I think it's Lion now,
I have no idea.
like Thundercats.
Oh.
No, it's just oh, which is coincidentally not a bad word.
Thundercats ho.
Whoa, easy, man.
Well, that's what they say.
No
is.
E. No E. It's fine.
I don't think we write the E either.
I think technically you do.
No, that's the garden utensil. It's different.
Oh.
Changes dramatically. It's more like Santa.
That's what I was talking
more
about.
like Santa Claus.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I thought we were talking about
I
Thundercats.
can't believe I can't get you off of this yet.
Off of what?
I'm gonna let you look at it when it's done.
That's the. I mean, if we had not done the schedules, that's pretty close to the order I'd have put them in.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. So we got Iowa.
I don't feel like I've made
And-
any missteps yet.
Iowa and Minnesota up next. We'll take a quick break and get to Brian Edwards and see why he continues to be a part of the No Betting Association.
I'm not saying I'm going to be right, but that's how I would have put them.
No, I listen. Consistency is fine.
Yeah, I think going through it like game by game has proved my perception of what they are to be in line. Accurate, I don't know, but it's in line with what I thought.
No surprises yet.
No, I don't think so.
You're gonna have one or two coming up though.
Well, we'll see what happens. We're out here, right? We'll talk to Brian Edwards coming up next year on Hurrdat Sports Live.
You know, I've said this all along when people ask me questions about Jordy, whether it's been a game earlier in the season. I just am not surprised. I never would say, oh, I think she's going to do this, this, or this. But when she does do this, this, and this, it never surprises me because what's so cool about her, I mean, a lot of athletes could learn so much from her. She immerses herself in the moment. And she is not focused on numbers, accolades. She's focused on one mission, and it's doing whatever she can to help the team win. And she's just talented enough that she can do a lot of things to help the team win. And we certainly are trying to maximize how to use her, but also how to save her. You notice, like, it doesn't make any sense to pinch run Jordy, but in the 6th inning it does because she's got to go back out there potentially in the 7th.
Give me that cheddar, we getting Rico. Big money rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
Well, I mean, it's just that's what I told the team, and you know, you've watched us play this year. We're far from perfect, but we don't back down from the fight, and we get backed into a corner, we tend to come out swinging. So there were a lot of moments in that game where it wasn't going our way. We just stayed in it, and that was kind of indicative there at the end where it looked like we were getting ready to win. I mean, Brumball's ball, if it's another couple of feet to the left, it gets in the corner, and it's game over there. But it wasn't to be. But, you know, we said that's why you keep playing. You set up another inning. Broderick, you know, did a nice job. I think he got to 3-1 on the leadoff hitter there. I mean, and Sanderson makes a great play at first base. I mean, that's a kind of a hidden big play in the game as well. So made enough winning plays there at the end after making it hard on ourselves early in the game with some silly stuff.
aspirations can drive us. Sometimes a simple gesture is what fuels the pursuit of a dream. When it's time to make your dream a reality, we are here to help. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live. Now, Vegas insider, senior handicapper, and fan of the cold Budweiser bottles, Brian Edwards.
It's got to be touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Brian Edwards.
I don't really love it.
Brian Edwards.
Were they using the cream cheese to butter the bagel?
Brian Edwards.
I'm going with the cowgirl.
Here is Brian Edwards.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi, Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by our friend Brian Edwards, Vegas insider, major wager. What's up, B?
What's up, gentlemen? How we doing?
First time's the charm.
I feel like I would have lost the bet, but I'm plus 40 with Ravi, so I wasn't going to give away any money. I said, will B Edwards be talking to us in full, or will he have to push a button to start this segment? And Ravi had faith. It's the first time he's been positive about another human in like 6 days. So you're in good company. You are in really good company. I think you guys are both tickled over the fact that he can't needle you over Florida. And Florida sports in old Gainesville seems to has taken a turn for the good. Are you just giddy or what?
Yeah, but Damon can always needle me about the Gators forever until we get the rematch.
I don't like to bring up old stuff. I moved on from that.
Yeah, while we talking about old stuff, right?
Yeah, I was a big Fred Taylor guy. We're good. Fred Taylor
right?
guy.
I love.
He is quietly one of my favorites.
I can still give you a hard time because I know deep down you still don't really like Billy Napier. So,
right, you do know that. You do know that.
Get this out of the way, B. I am cheering way against the hype of DJ Lagway too. So I don't want to come across as a hater. I'm just getting that out in the open right now. I don't get the hype. I want to be right, but I'm not gonna needle you about Lagway.
Well, I tell you, I mean, the stats are not very impressive. And if you watch the Tulane game, he had 2 mind-blowing interceptions where it was just like, what are you even seeing out there? So, but he is 6-1 as a starter, and the only loss, they were up by a touchdown in the second quarter against Georgia when he left, and he showed a lot of arm strength and arm talent, and we'll see how he didn't throw all spring. I don't know if you guys were following that. He has, and he's only throwing 3 days a week right now. I don't know. I guess apparently he had a shoulder injury in high school that needs surgery, but they didn't want to do surgery. And I guess they're just letting it rest and doesn't want him to, have a tired arm come the season. They're just building it up slowly, but it just sounds really weird the way you preparing for a season like that.
All right. You're a fan. Are you in on the hype?
I am. Now, I mean, if you would asked me at halftime of the Tulane game last year, I would have said no, because he threw 2 just awful interceptions and had a big first half bet on the Gators, so I was pissed. But I am. I mean, that team was dead. Had just gotten beat. What did Texas score on us? Like 60, and we were 4-5 going into the LSU. Yeah, going into the LSU and Ole Miss game, and he came back from the injury and saved Napier's job, and now I wouldn't say we're the media darling coming into this year, but we're getting a little bit of hype, and
he certainly is.
Yeah, he is for sure. Lagway
is. He's in the Lenore Sellers conversation. I'm just like, I don't really love him either, but
I don't love Lenoris as a thrower, but man, that dude can tote the rock, and he is a big boy.
I'm just saying he is a getting whopped away from being pretty pedestrian.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. Yeah, I mean his reads and his throws are
That
not
style does not lend itself over the long haul, in my opinion.
right. No, I'm with you on that. But he can. It's also nice to have a quarterback who can bust an 80-yard run for a touchdown at any time. So that's we'll
Yeah,
see.
we're not familiar with that around here. We had a couple of those guys.
Yeah, you played with one named Tommy Frazier from Bradenton, Florida.
Manatee's finest, B. You got it.
Y'all had more than one manatee guy, didn't you?
Yeah, we had four in a row. We had T. Fraze, Tyrone Williams, who was another pro, a guy named Justin Stevens, who didn't make it, and a guy named Leslie Dennis. So they did them all in a row in about a 3-year stretch where they had some really good success with Manatee.
Yeah, that was a powerhouse. I don't know if they are anymore or not.
Weird how everybody goes private. It's what Ravi is too. He's a big anti-public school guy. B. It's another reason we don't.
Miller North is a public school. I don't know if you know that.
Hey, again, you were going back to the well and the non-betting association, man. What was the level of jaw drop at what you witnessed?
Wow, man, that was a wild game. That was awesome, and it was.
You knew we were in for it when they started out shooting like 200% between the two from the field in the first 4 minutes of the game, right?
Right, they didn't miss the first few minutes.
What are we doing?
I was like, why didn't I bet the over?
Oh, and it sailed.
Yeah, it did. I think they had it with like 4 minutes left. Man, that was great stuff. Like circa 95 Reggie style. I mean, I didn't realize he had his foot on the line at the end of regulation until, well, obviously they showed the replay. I thought that was a walk-off.
I did too at first.
Yeah.
When I was like, oh God. And the choke sign would have been way cooler if it was.
Yes.
But still worked out.
Yeah, still worked out.
You cool with the choke sign, B?
I mean, Reggie did it 30 years ago. You're at MSG. You can't control your emotions at MSG when you make a shot like that.
Paying homage to the greats.
That's right.
All right. So how are we going to cap game 2 and not factor in emotion?
Well, so I mean, I totally get it if somebody wants to go the zigzag route with the Knicks, and I'm going to go zigzag T-Wolves tonight. We'll talk about it in a minute, but not because of the zigzag, but I mean, Indiana got greedy in game 2 against Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and won that one outright. And look, we're getting 5.5, and maybe be patient. Maybe that thing will get. We might see some steam on that. I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, it looks like one offshore's already at 6. Oh, but I see it opened at 6 last night, I guess, and came down. So maybe not. But I'm gonna relax and see if it'll get to 6. And I mean, I don't love it, but I mean, you kind of want to take the over, but I don't know.
Who's this confidence, B? I don't love it, but here it is.
Right. I do kind of love the T-Wolves tonight. But I loved them in game 1 too. And man, did they lay an egg in the second half? They get outscored 70-40. And I mean, their bench was awful. DiVincenzo was 3 of 14. And by the way, when they split 4 regular season games, in 3 of them, Randall didn't play, Gobert didn't play, and oh gosh, there was another key player that did not play. But my point on that was going to be that Naz Reid, because I wrote a preview of the series, and every game I like went through the box score and listed the top scorers, and Naz Reid killed OKC all year, but he was 1 of 11 from the field the other night, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker was 3 of 11. So their bench was awful, and they shot 51 threes and only 32 twos. They got to attack the rim tonight, and I'm sure that Finch is pushing that, and I think they will. And I think the bench will play better. I don't think they'll get outscored by 30 in the second half, and I think the T-Wolves cover tonight. I'm on them plus 7.5.
B, what do you do when you're watching a team in the regular season and you see guys you mentioned like Naz Reid and DiVincenzo and some of these role players, Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Like, is there a part of you that looks at this as just say like, hey, like those are regular season guys, like where you just don't expect them at a certain point to perform in the postseason? Because Naz Reid's kind of struggled this whole postseason.
Yeah, I would definitely say that about Nickeil Alexander. Wait, say that again?
I think Nas may be thinking about free agency.
Right. Look, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, I would definitely say Ravi is a regular season guy, but I think Nas Reed's. I think he'll tighten up and play better. DiVincenzo, I mean, he was fantastic last year. He has not been as good this year. They need him to step up. I would say Nas Reed's the main guy off the bench that I would hope is going to step up and play better. And we'll see. We shall see tonight. Yeah, Dante, I had Michigan to win it all against Nova in the finals. I was going to win my bracket contest, and I had them at 60-1 and 55-1. And Dante DiVincenzo just dominated that national title game. I've always been bitter at him about that. I was going to win a lot. I mean, like 7 or 8 grand. Oh, man. And I couldn't hedge. They were like 8-point favorites. I couldn't hedge. I mean, I couldn't lay like minus 500 money line.
I don't really love it.
Do you have any like leans with your totals in the NBA for folks that may be a little gun shy with ATS?
Right. I mean, I was going to say over on Knicks Pacers last night would make you think that, but I mean, they're not going to shoot that good, are they? I mean, still, it got over with ease.
Yeah, they play so fast.
Right.
New York got caught up in it.
So the thing that's the thing that got me was New York, I thought, was better defensively than that, but they just let Indiana play their game. Yeah. And if they're going to let Indiana play their game, they're in trouble.
Yeah. And you might want to put a hand in Neesmith's face, man. What do you make? 6 threes in the last 4 minutes of regulation
I don't know.
in a row?
That guy's too young to know any better. I mean, he's just out living his best life, telling jokes.
He's like, oh, this is easy.
I'm like, wow, this guy's pretty comfortable for a pup.
Yeah, he's not breathing heavy, and he's guarding Brunson. And Brunson was fantastic again last night.
He has to make so many tough shots.
I know.
He got 40, but Neesmith probably defended better than that 40.
Yeah, I mean, he was 15 of 25 from the field.
Yeah,
man,
I don't know. I just don't know if he can do that every game, right? Because if he's not 15 for 25, then they don't even have the lead to blow.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. I struggle with their offense. I don't know if you really count on how much you feel like you can count on Cat in those situations. Whereas, I don't know. I feel like I can count on Indiana's guys more than I can New York's in terms of offensively. But I thought New York would be way better defensively than they were yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, New York wasted a game where Cat shot it well and went for more than 30.
Yeah.
And they still lost.
Like if Cat plays like that, you have to win.
Right. I don't think Cat's gonna play like that tomorrow.
I can't even. This is so petty. I can't even cheer for that guy. He drives me up the wall. I don't know what
Cat?
it is.
Oh, I know. I totally agree. All those stupid faces he makes.
And he reminds me of a giant slinky. I'm like, just play ball, man.
You don't like the movement patterns?
No, it's just, I don't know, man. I should be more mature than worrying about somebody's gait, but he drives me up the wall with how Gumby-ish he is. It's like, just be more sturdy. You're the biggest guy on the court. You come across like, I don't know, a Ziploc bag full of water. He drives me up the wall. At any moment, he could just burst.
Yeah, I mean, I would say he cries to the ref, but what NBA player doesn't cry to the ref?
Yeah. So we're taking the week off of UFC.
I like Macy Barber when we come back, though, and I like Dustin. If we haven't talked about that, I know that's a ways off, but Dustin basically pick him against Max.
Okay, this is weird, and I get why it's a pick 'em. Who do you think is more capable of summoning their good stuff, considering these guys have been through so many wars?
Yeah.
You going with Poirier's fitness?
Well, I mean, we've just watched Poirier handle Max twice. Now, I think Max is more ready to be at 155, as we saw with Gaethje now that he's older. I mean, I think 155 was a little too soon when they did the interim in Atlanta. I mean, that was way back too. And then obviously they fought at 145, which seems like, or it was more than a decade ago. But I mean, we've just seen Dustin. He's just stronger and bigger than Max.
Mm-hmm.
Although Max didn't look any smaller than Gaethje in the cage that night. Yeah, I mean, look, Max can definitely win this fight, no doubt. But I like Dustin. at home in New Orleans, and you got to wonder if he's with Makachev moving up, if he is having some second thoughts, because if he beats Max, he's got to be in the picture, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let me get to, and we're going to start to get the win totals this offseason because we're trying to sort through the middle of this Big Ten, and it is a nightmare with so many teams clumped together. So we'll be picking your brain to get your thoughts on Big Ten win totals here coming up, because there's 8 teams between 5.5 and 7.5 wins? 9 teams.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's 9.
It's chunky in the middle of the Big Ten, B, so we're going to need some help sorting through that. But let's go to your Gator bait at just 7.5, juice to the under. What are you looking at with Florida?
All right, so, they did not do well in the portal, but I almost think that Napier didn't want to mess up the. I don't know what he was thinking, but whatever the case, I don't ever know what that guy's thinking. But we did not really upgrade the roster with the portal, but I think he just likes who he has and the way they finished. And all right, so looking at the schedule, they're going to win their first 2 at home to LIU and USF. Okay, then at LSU and at Miami. I think they'll steal one of those. I'm going to call that a split. Then they've got an open date. I have them 3-1. Texas at home. Both teams get 2 weeks to prepare, and then at A&M, I think they're going to split those and make them 4-2. I think they beat Mississippi State at home 5-2. I think Georgia's a swing game at Kentucky. I give them that. It goes 6-2, and then at Ole Miss at home, or I'm sorry, at Ole Miss and Tennessee at home. I think they split those. That would be 7-3. I think they beat FSU at home. That'll be 8-3, and we didn't even grade the Georgia game. Now, I mean, could they obviously lose both of those road games in September at LSU and at Miami? Yeah, of course they could. But I think they can beat Georgia. So, and now a lot of some books have 6.5 heavily juiced to the over, or at least it was -150 at DraftKings. Now I know that.
I saw over 6.5 at -167.
Okay, yeah, I know Circa had 7.5, and you could get small plus money to go over. And I'm fine with that because I think they win at least 8, in my opinion. But, I mean, here's another thing about it. I know the schedule looks brutal, but nearly everybody except for LSU is breaking in new quarterbacks. Tennessee, new quarterback. Ole Miss, new quarterback, although I think Austin Simmons is going to be good. Kentucky, new quarterback. Georgia, new quarterback. A&M, new quarterback. Texas, new quarterback. Miami, new QB. I mean, all those teams are breaking in new QBs, so I don't think the schedule is quite as daunting as it looks.
Playing them.
Oh, yeah. My bad. We're just arguing amongst ourselves like we typically do. He dropped the Florida State reference.
Say Florida State has
like,
a new quarterback
they're
as well.
an ACC.
Right.
Like, oh, they play them. And I was like, ooh, technicality. He's talking schedule.
On their schedule. I don't know if it's a technicality.
Me, if I can't make fun of myself, man.
Shane, do they bicker like this all day or all morning?
Pretty much.
All week.
Like a couple
All
of
week.
these kids. And we got the softest referee. He's no Mills Lane over here.
Right.
Shane Schilleber. He's soft as a batch of cookies over here. He can't break up anything.
That's our
Chocolate
guy.
chip.
That's not oatmeal raisin, that's for sure. That's our guy, Brian Edwards. We'll talk to you later, B.
Thanks, B.
Thanks, fellas. Y'all have a good weekend.
Michael Bruntz coming up next on Hurrdat Sports Live.
You know, I've said this all along when people ask me questions about Jordy, whether it's been a game earlier in the season. I just am not surprised. I never would say, oh, I think she's going to do this, this, or this. But when she does do this, this, and this, it never surprises me because what's so cool about her, I mean, a lot of athletes could learn so much from her. She immerses herself in the moment. And she is not focused on numbers, accolades. She's focused on one mission, and it's doing whatever she can to help the team win. And she's just talented enough that she can do a lot of things to help the team win. And we certainly are trying to maximize how to use her, but also how to save her. You notice, like, it doesn't make any sense to pinch run Jordy, but in the 6th inning it does because she's got to go back out there potentially in the 7th.
Welcome to Hurrdat Sports Live.
We're back here on Hurrdat Sports Live, presented by Centris Federal Credit Union. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill. We are joined now by our Thursday friend, Michael Bruntz, Husker 24/7. What's up, Bruntz?
How's it going?
Oh, big Mendoza guy this morning, huh?
Not anymore.
Big Mendoza guy.
Not anymore.
All right, so you still Team Wilcox?
I don't. How much longer are they going to let that run?
This year.
You think so?
Yeah,
Ron Rivera's going to get in there, and
I feel like he's being undermined by old Rivera.
I don't know that anybody cares.
Marty Brown used to. No,
yeah, somebody did.
Hashtag too soon. Sorry about that. No, I'm a big Cal guy because my sister taught there for double-digit years. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she was a Bear. She is now a Lady Don.
Oh, across the bay?
Yeah, across the bay. She just sent
Elena Della?
She just sent a picture with all these cool things on her garb for graduation, which means she's really good at her job.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't know if it was a dashiki or no, I'm kidding. Cultural joke. I'm sorry, but Bruntz is smart. He gets it. But she was with Fauci, and I was like, I don't know. Is that a cool picture? Do we still like Fauci? Did we ever like Fauci? But apparently he was there. It was kind of cool. So anyway, I'm just lamenting, Bruntz. I mean, if I can't just go down memory lane in my own head, I mean, are we even really friends?
What are we doing here?
Well, it's your fault because you hit me with the Cal hat. I'm like, it's always something different.
Sorry.
And it's never your teams.
Yeah, it goes Orioles a lot. It goes the Orioles hat a lot.
I'm like, do you ever represent people you actually like? Like, where's the Denver gear?
I don't own much Denver gear, actually, now that I think about it. I don't know why. I'm not. Here's the thing. I always notice this whenever we're traveling back from road trips. I know you don't get this experience anymore, Damon, because you fly charter, but
I don't know.
I'm always struck by when you're traveling on the weekends for football, how like very NFL people are. Like, it's like I got to travel today. I'm going to put my best Kevin Green jersey on and go get in the Southwest line. Like, that will never not be interesting to me.
So, Bruntz, full disclosure, I cave because I see what other people are wearing, and like I kind of covet it. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I wonder where they got that. Oh, I like that. Ooh, would I wear that? Oh, I bet those shoes. Like, I do that, bro. I think you're spot on.
With NFL stuff, you do?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, I know I fly chartered, but I do pay attention to my surroundings, contrary to popular belief.
You should start wearing NFL gear on
That'll never happen. Like, I'm not a jersey guy, but I do like gear. So, like, I won't wear, like, numbers and...
Yeah, but there's a lot of gear that's not jerseys. Like, you got options.
Like a tracksuit? Like, would you show up in, like, a Steelers tracksuit?
So, I'm not going to be a matching top-bottom guy. It may have this... You know what I mean? I'm not a grown-up onesie guy. Like, I need a little break. I'm not a monochromatic guy, typically, unless it's all black.
The radio team doesn't have, like, travel suits that they wear?
The only one that even
I got you like a Cam like if I found like a heavily discounted Cam Hayward jersey and I gave it to you, you wouldn't wear it on the bird.
Jess is the only one that doesn't wear team gear. She wears like regular civilian regular people clothes.
Out of uniform.
Yeah, like everybody else usually has kind of like logoed up. She doesn't give. I mean, it's like whatever. Because I think she's accustomed to dressing up.
On the way there, are the charters? Is it like a plane going to Omaha where like everybody's kind of chatty and you know wanting to know why you're going there and who you like? Is it just straight business?
It is
head down. It is like looking at the directions on how to get out of the plane if something bad happens.
Yeah, it's the same every week. Like the non-important people are way in the back. The coaches are mostly seated. The players get there sequentially off buses. They sit down, you get your food, we take off. Like there is no, hey man, no. it's pretty buttoned up. You almost feel awkward I remember the first time Caleb and I actually flew together when he traveled.
Did he pretend he didn't know you?
Yeah, he texted and he goes, in typical Caleb fashion, he goes, "You're too far away to say hi. What's up?" I was like, I hate you. but anyway, Bruntz, when do you think people, with all the fake outrage this week of people actually paying attention to the Big Ten tournament, and it's not the fans' fault because the Big Ten didn't.
It's a dumb tournament.
The Big Ten didn't pay attention to the Big Ten tournament.
It's a dumb tournament.
Why do you think we all of a sudden were talking about the scheduling when we had been talking about this for like 3 weeks, that it's pretty screwed up? Do you think once people actually see how it's playing out, it's elicited more fake outrage?
Well, I think whenever you actually and let's be honest, like when you say the Big Ten did this, the coaches voted for it. Like
I don't think they knew.
That
I think they knew. More teams in. Oh, okay, cool. We have an opportunity. I don't think they knew how it was going to play out.
No, you're right. And I was going to say, here's what I think happened. I think you walk into the discussion and say, how can we as a league get more teams into the tournament? And there's a couple ways you can do it, I think. And they chose the blue pill, which is apparently whatever they're doing now with games that potentially don't matter. Not potentially, they don't matter. I mean, you've got games that are being played that the outcome has no bearing whatsoever on the way the tournament's going to play out. Will they go forward with that in the future? I don't know. But it's a matter of whether or not you want to reward teams or protect teams with
we're playing college
tiebreakers or buys.
It's on like we're playing. There's 4 games today, Bruntsy.
I know. And I kind of I was looking at the forecast for this weekend, and there's a chance of rain tonight, and they're moving games around. And I was wondering, like, if it became a question of how are we going to get all these games in, if they would just go to look at those games that don't matter and just say, we're not going to play them. Like, I mean, that would be, aside from just having to have a team use its pitchers, I mean, there's no like competitive bearing on what's going on. So, I mean, will they look at it differently in the future? I think they'll probably take a look at it. I think what happened is that it sounds great in a boardroom, but when you actually are going through it and you've got seeds and you've got teams with certain RPIs and teams that need to try to play their way in and teams that are not, it looks a little bit different. So, and we've seen, the ACC, they did the pool thing for a while, and they've gone now to everybody gets in, and that has its own issues too. I mean, I'm wearing a Cal hat. You had Cal and Miami playing a single elimination game at like 9 a.m. in Charlotte. Miami got ruled before lunch, and they were on the way back home. Like, is that any better? I don't know. But
meanwhile, Cal is playing 14-12 games against Wake a couple hours later, right?
Right. So I mean, there's kind of downsides to everything, but it's you have to reward the regular season, but it's also tough to do that whenever the regular season you're basically missing half the conference in your schedule too. So a lot of discussions I think going forward, but I don't love this format. Like I don't like it. I mean, and that's not mock outrage. I just don't get the point. Like why are you having teams stick around in Omaha for 2 days to play a game that doesn't matter? Like that makes no sense to me.
Well, what's really funny, Bruntz, is you should take 5 minutes and explain to Ravi why it's different than playing in the Crown postseason basketball tournament, because he apparently doesn't understand how those things are different emotionally.
I think that
I'm sorry.
I think that we just have games that are
Is this a Bo Jackson landmine?
A little bit, yeah.
Bruntz, it was so frustrating.
Okay.
I almost had to leave.
I think there's meaningless games played throughout a lot of sports, whether it's bowl games or invitational tournaments or whatever. And there's no more inherent value to those than there are to these baseball games. We give them value, which is fine, but I understand, like, outside of a time frame and putting a trophy on it, there's not that much of a difference. That's all. That was my point.
That's one thought. Yes.
It's fine.
You're so kind. Is it like you didn't want to beat the other Mustang? Like, That's a terrible take.
It's a
North
take.
North Texas getting ready to play a bowl game at 6-6 is not the same as Michigan State needing to wait 2 days to play on Friday for something that they're wondering who's packing their dorm. Like,
I mean, we do the same thing with the transfer portal in college football, where it's like we don't even know who's going to be there.
It's not the same. It's not.
It's not the same.
Like if you were a player on a team that's playing a game that's essentially meaningless, what's to stop you from just like going to summer ball or like I'm in the portal, I don't need the Marriott points.
Mentally they do. Mentally, I think they do.
Yeah, I mean the same thing that doesn't stop guys from bowl games from being like, hey, I'm gonna go do NFL draft prep.
Well, they're not playing, Ravi. They would opt out. Let's knock it off.
So I mean,
jeez. It's a horrible analogy.
It seems like there's a lot of similarities.
Shane's just laughing because he knows, Bruntz, that 2 days ago or yesterday, it almost set me. You almost lost me, Bruntz. You guys
like that felt like I was like mom and dad were like rehashing things, and I was walking through.
You're like, okay, I'm 12. Can you guys knock off the overtures?
I've been here before.
Hey, so, like, are you cheering for? Are you looking at this? And who's UCLA got? Michigan this morning, right? Is it Michigan?
I'd have to look at the schedule.
God, I know it's like they moved it up. Are we cheering for anybody? Because I get it. It's like, well, what's Oregon's incentive? And I'm like, well, Oregon's incentive is, yeah, I know they're going to host regardless, but coaches like this thing called momentum, and they typically like to send messages to play to win, and that lineup will be loaded tomorrow for them. Do we get in those kind of weeds, Bruntz, or do we just understand that the integrity of the game for teams that are trying to advance this thing play hard?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's.
You don't have to agree with me.
I think for teams like Oregon, I mean, you're trying to win the thing. There's probably a seeding aspect to. I mean, you're going to host, but I mean, is Oregon in the conversation for a top 8 at this point? I mean, do they get a top
UCLA
8?
Is.
So, I mean, there's something to be played for there. I mean, it's even like for Nebraska, like I don't think there's not an at-large conversation to be had, I don't think. But I mean, if you line it up and you've got like Oregon and you've got, the other kind of, top 4 teams in the league waiting for you on the weekend, if you're able to get through, I mean, there's a lot left there. As much as, some of as much as pool play has kind of been meaningless to a degree. So, I don't know. Momentum matters. I mean, I think you probably try to set up your pitching a little bit for whatever's ahead. If you're Oregon, UCLA, USC, I guess. So
we kind of sleep on SC. They're kind of in no man's land, right? I mean, maybe not. They're 48, 49 RPI.
Yeah, I think they're probably okay.
Did they smell like an at-large to you?
To a degree, is that where they're at? Upper 40s? I haven't checked RPIs this morning. But
you guys are stretching my Rain Man capabilities, but I think.
Yeah,
they're 41.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, they had that run where they were winning some conference series, and I think, I don't know. Like I kind of wonder too with USC baseball if they kind of get a little bit of like that. Hey, let's get them back. Let's get them back. Baseball's better when USC's clicking. Because they're basically baseball Nebraska football, right?
Oh, that hurts.
Line up the time periods. It's not that far off.
Oh, I hate smart people.
70s, 90s, and then crickets.
98 was the
win over Arizona State.
Okay, bro.
National title win over Arizona State.
Yep. It's kind of been wandering in the wilderness.
Arguably my favorite college baseball game.
You're not
ever.
even that old. Which
yeah, I am.
That drives me even more crazy. That is the Rolodex.
I think that's I think I was at that World. I
was at that final. I was at that.
Yeah.
The 21-14.
Smart people.
Greatest game of all time.
It's like a pool. Since we're talking pools, it's Nebraska football, USC baseball, and Indiana basketball, right? That's the three-headed monster.
Are we swimming in the deep end or the shallow end of that
Well,
pool?
see, and funny
We're
thing,
treading water.
not to relitigate this is I've maintained this, and it's a very unpopular take, Bruntz, but Nebraska's football success is more of an outlier than any of those two aforementioned, and historically more of an outlier relative to its own benchmark. Like the fact that Nebraska was good when it was good, how it was good, is mind-boggling, to be honest, given the height of its success and how we're structured and located.
Yeah.
It is an anomaly.
That's fair.
I just can't figure out how USC can't find good baseball players in Southern California.
So we've had this conversation. We talked about it with Fitty a little bit, Aaron Fitt and Kendall Rogers. You just think it's a money thing, Bruntz, where there's been that great seismic shift from the left coast to the Bible Belt?
With USC, I don't know.
Like Irvine, Oregon State, I guess UCLA, because that was 2012. But
USC struggled for longer.
The
than
left
the money's
coast
been in this
shift has been nothing short of amazing. I don't even know how Oregon State does it.
Yeah,
it used to be dominant.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm probably speaking out of school a little bit here. I mean, I think there's probably more. It's interesting too with USC because for a while, I mean, it's different now, but it felt like if you were a private school, and Vanderbilt, I think, did too, but like you could make the baseball money work a little bit more in your favor if you were a private school versus a public school. I mean, that was something I was always told, but
I mean, we saw that with like Stanford and some of these other programs that were really successful at a high level for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think though that, I don't know, like it felt like the Pac-12 for a while kind of lost its way as a whole because it was, if you go back and look at like NCAA tournament appearances for a stretch there, the Pac-12 was not that much better overall numbers wise than the Big Ten. Since Nebraska's been in the Big Ten at least, it's been comparable. So I don't know. I mean, I think part of it's just kind of trying to find the right guy to lead things too. I mean, I think they've done that. I mean, it's probably gone under the radar a little bit too, the season they've had, considering that they've been playing their home games in Irvine. Like, I know in Nebraska baseball had to go out there for their 2-month-long trip to California in the middle of the season. It was like, hey, you're playing USC, but you got to go bus to Irvine and play out there. I mean, that's a significant. That's like a road trip for USC every game, basically. So I think they've hired the right guy, but I don't know. I don't have a great handle on why that program's fallen so far, or it had fallen so far. But it seems like they've at least got it going in the right direction.
How many bids come out of the Big East for you, Bruntz?
Big East?
Yeah. 2?
Yeah, I'd say 2.
Okay.
Xavier and Creighton. Are those your 2?
I think UConn. I mean, they're going to be in the discussion because both UConn and Xavier are ahead of Creighton.
And remind me, Creighton has how many top 50 wins do they have?
They don't have a quad one.
They haven't even played one.
They haven't even played a quad one.
Right. I know. So I don't know. That's something that you have to kind of talk about, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, eye test. I think Creighton probably could match up pretty well. I would not want to see Creighton as a 3 seed in a regional. I know that much.
Just because of the pitching depth.
Pitching depth. I mean, they kind of have that. They play with an edge.
Sailors might be one of the best players in the region.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that delivery was something else. I think it's very Millard Northian. Your guys' delivery and snark. That was incredible.
Hey, speaking of Millard North, how about those uniforms? I like the black look.
Yeah, those were nice.
Oh, let's all support one another.
Those were nice.
Because they used to. Do they still do they used to have a gray? It was like gray with like a pinstripe.
Oh,
but I like the black alternates a little bit more.
I kind of like West Side Soccer whites. What'd you guys think about those?
Nobody cares. Yeah, so back in the day, they had the all whites with the MN,
Yeah.
And then they had the gray pinstripes that said, I think, Mustangs across it. And now they got the black alternates with the Stangs across. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, the hat looks good. I saw that a couple times on your guys' social media there at Hurrdat and really enjoyed these uniforms.
We need to get a hold of our guy Behringer, see if he can get us a couple of those hats, Bruntz.
Well, so is Bruntz's guy now too by association?
Yeah, Miller North guy. Come on.
No, I get it, but
come on.
Listen, his
little fraternity.
I'll start wearing that hat on the program here. If you guys hook me up.
Hey, I'll see what Aaron, if you're listening, bud. I really appreciate the hoodie last year, but if I could get a couple hats for me and my guy.
7 3/8.
Listen, he wore the hoodie yesterday, and he goes, "Hey man, we're in the semis. I mean, we're days in the state finals, appearance in the state finals." And then he said, "We" again this morning.
That's right.
He said, "Hey, we got a tough one with Lincoln East.
Once a Stang, always a Stang.
7 3/8. Send it over.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do here. A lot of them, I think they do the flex fits a lot too, so you might have a little leeway there.
Yeah.
That's good.
A big flex fit guy.
Yeah, no, they're nice hats.
You guys
are quality.
Ridiculous.
I mean, Friday night, 7 p.m. Warner Park. See you there.
I'm just hoping the weather holds.
Well, I'll probably be busy then.
All right.
All
right.
I can maybe come over if the game goes long enough.
He'll be down the street. I think he's working.
All right, whatever.
You like that pitching matchup?
Who's that?
Nebraska and Oregon.
I'm intrigued because Nebraska may have Booten back, able to pinch hit a little bit. Sounds like Ty Stone
starting to get a little bit of his weight back.
Yeah. What are the odds of that? Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Nebraska's seen some good arms this year. And that was the thing about Juro the other night too. It was like, yeah, he's good. He was good. But I mean, Nebraska saw 95 from the left side against Vanderbilt early in the year. I mean, they played LSU. I mean, that's the benefit of the way they scheduled. I mean, the guys from Oregon State were no slouches either. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I'd probably be a little bit more concerned about what Nebraska is going to do on their pitching side with how they're going to line that up. But because that's a really good Oregon lineup with not many holes in it. So, at least for Nebraska's lineup, I think if they are dialed in and approach wise, they kind of wear on starters and drive pitch counts up. But
are you a little iffy because Broderick was stretched a little?
Well, Broderick was stretched.
I thought Christo was sharp when it 2 1/3.
Yeah. I mean, and as much as we poo-poo the tournament setup, at least you get to kind of rest those guys for a few days to go into Friday. So they'll be fine. But you got to get somebody out of that starting rotation has got to be able to give you 4 good innings. And we'll see who that is. Brockett actually has been surprisingly good. His numbers are better than what you would expect during Big Ten play, but you've got Walsh as a possibility. You've got Brockett. I mean, maybe you almost do like a starter, just a pass the bucket kind of thing too. But you got to get somebody to give you a little bit of depth and kind of calm things down a little bit.
Well, I tell you, that misplayed ball in right field is worth about another $4,500 in the stands for tomorrow night. So it's true.
No, I just still can't believe it happened.
Yeah,
that might be worth something.
I was like going frame by frame, trying to figure out how the heck he dropped that ball.
Like where it went wrong.
Yeah, it just it was like right in the pocket and popped out. But
people make fun of me for using an infielder's glove in the outfield, saying I'm giving up a few inches. I'm like, I've been doing that for 50 years. Nothing new with a baseball glove. I just like to be able to feel it. It's those outfield gloves. They suck.
I think I probably would have gone 2 hands on that one just to make sure I had it.
Does that? I don't know with the liner like that. I don't really have any problems with how he played it.
I'm not a 2 hands like outfield guy.
It's kind of a looping liner. I don't know, Bruntz.
It's kind of right at him. It was.
Plus,
probably just need to catch that ball. I mean,
if it's above my waist, I like my fingers up, and I certainly don't want my other hand if it doesn't have a lot of lift. That's just me.
It was that was it was an outlier because Michigan State has not typically been this season a great defensive team, but they were playing really, really good defense.
Well,
up until that point.
Pico had a great play coming in. What, the inning before?
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
them at the time, and then kind of gave it back a little bit later. But
which is interesting too, because some teams that hadn't picked it real well. Ole Miss got away yesterday. They kick it around the yard. They won last night, giving up 3 errors or having 3 errors against Florida too. So I don't know, man. Postseason is.
It's a delightfully stupid game this time of year. I have to
It's
say.
just
It's
a
perfect.
really hard sport.
It is. And it's like it's just magnified this time of year, which is it's kind of fun, right? Like that's the fun part of it. I mean, as long as you're not the one that's making the mistakes, I guess.
I'm so childish too. I was like, ooh, I hope UCLA and Oregon are cold. I hope they're too cold to be good. Like 50s, let's go 50s. But
you're like Coach Rhule trying to get these guys out here in November.
Well, hopefully it'll have some advantages. Playing uncomfortable, and then maybe UCLA can't wear like those sweet blue pajamas that they wear at the. I mean, I'm looking for any advantage here.
The baby
Bruntz.
blues.
Yeah. That's just me. Sorry, Cal guy.
That's all right. That's all right.
Go.
It's all right. We'll see what we can do about you getting you a new hat for.
Listen, I like Cal. Anti-protest guy. Big Cal guy though.
Big Cal guy. Okay.
Oh, you were a big Malcolm X guy for a while. That's pretty protest.
Yeah, he did a 180. He came back around.
He did some protesting.
It's fine. He ended up liking people.
Big protest guy. I was just saying.
Bruntz, this dude needs a babysitter. I'm not qualified.
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Bruntz. You don't work too hard tomorrow.
I won't. Hat in the mail. Make it happen.
We'll see what we can do.
All right. See you guys.
I got it.
See you, Bruntz. It's Michael Bruntz, Oscar 24/7.
How about the casual? Yeah.
7-3-8.
No. Yeah. I know. With the quad 1 game.
Yeah, that was
very unnecessary.
I thought you were going to call him Ravi just out of habit.
But very Millard Northian. Yeah.
You mean great and champion like? Yeah, I agree.
I know. Hey, you throwing tomorrow in the finals?
I got a couple innings in me. Let's go.
Big guy.
Just like Nintendo. That's DB. I'm Ravi. We'll be back. More Hurrdat Sports Live coming up next.
Big swing.
Yeah, well, Santino came out and he got out of a bases loaded situation and then come out and hit that leadoff bomb. It kind of just sets the tone for the whole game. And we kept building on that, and we scored 6 in the first, and we didn't let up.
Hey, what does it mean for this team to get back to the state finals? 3rd straight year, East is going to play for a state championship.
It means a lot. That's kind of the standard that's been set at East these past 4 years. So getting back to it, that's the standard, and job's not finished yet.
Was that your first leadoff home run as a Spartan?
I think it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I got switched to the leadoff midway through this year, so that's pretty cool.
Just what's been that approach for you, switching from that 2 spot to that leadoff?
Honestly, I just come out and be aggressive. Try and find a barrel sets the tone for the whole game if you come out and you hit a ball hard. So.
A successful financial future is built one coin at a time. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned saver, we've got the financial resources and team of experts who will be with you every step of the way. Centris Federal Credit Union. We are where you are.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, they had him loaded with 1 out and their best hitter up, and Santino made a really good pitch to get him to pop out and got out of it. So we came off the field with some momentum, and then Troy jump started the offense. We we love our speed, and we kind of sped them up there. We beat out a couple forced plays. We did a great job as trail runners, and yeah, that was really nice to get off to a good start versus a really good team.
Taking it back to the state championship, what does it mean for this group?
Just got to get ready for Friday. I mean, we have players who expect to win. I'm so blessed to be their coach. They work so hard to be successful in situations like this. So we're going to enjoy it for about 30 minutes and get ready for whoever comes out on top on Friday.
Give me that cheddar, bacon, Rico. Big bunny rolls like burritos. Give me that hot sauce, no pico. Give me that.
This whole thing started back in September with the weight program and the working on the mental toughness, and that's what we challenged them after the first game. Things didn't go our way, and we didn't really play. I think we thought that we were going to get this thing handed to us, and nobody gives anything. So they came out with their backs against the wall, and we had a really good pitching performance from Noah. He was on again on short rest, and then the offense stepped up, and we got some clutch hits and kept pressure on him the whole time, and that's kind of how we do things.
Yeah. What was working for Noah today? Looked like
everything.
Yeah.
His slider was good again, and his fastball, he was able to locate that up, down, and in and out. And got some swings on the hands and forced some bad contacts. So he was, it's been 4 or 5 outings in a row. He's been pretty dang good. So.
Yeah.
You're listening to Hurrdat Sports Live.
Welcome back, Hurrdat Sports Live. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lulla here at Hurrdat Sports Bar and Grill, reminding you that there's a ton of possibilities with your home's equity, whether you're trying to finish a project or a remodel, maybe a bathroom, maybe a kitchen, maybe you're just trying to take that vacation you've always wanted. You have equity in your own home. You can get a loan or a line of credit through Centris Federal Credit Union and see what your options are to get cash from your home's equity. Go to centrisfcu.org to find out your options and discuss with an expert what might be best for you. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender at centrisfcu.org. DB.
You know how many championships Dado won?
A lot.
11.
That's a lot.
It is.
That's a handful. Actually, it's more than a couple handfuls. You got an extra.
Yeah. I don't know. And
Call him Bill Russell.
Maybe it is as easy as money. But I know that they play a lot of good baseball on the West Coast in high school to not be as good in college.
So the USC thing fell off before we started seeing this shift in general, though.
So early 2000s, yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I kind of pushed back on the money part for them specifically. I understand the general West Coast shift has been in the last 5-6 years.
And you do like to push back. I mean, you're a big pushback guy.
No, I like to agree. I just go along and get along.
Bruntz. Yeah. I know.
All
right, buddy.
No, I think it's a very, he brought up Nebraska and you're like, that kind of hurts my feelings. I do think it's a very similar where they just didn't have the right guy for a long time.
I was being sarcastic. It didn't hurt all my feelings, just the one or two that I have.
I think it hurt some of them.
I have a lot to go around. Getting pretty thick-skinned these days.
But I think I think they just didn't have the right guy for a long time.
Yeah.
Because there is, even with the money thing, there's way too much good baseball out there to not be better.
You would think.
Right?
Yes.
Like the SEC can't have all of them.
Apparently they do. You ever watch the College World Series lately?
There's only so many spots, though. You know what I mean?
So my buddy Dan was like, hey.
Like you said, Irvine finds a way.
Yeah.
You know, Oregon State found a way. UCLA's found a way.
Irvine.
You know, like Arizona recently.
Do you like the single limb 16-team SEC?
I like it better than what the Big Ten's doing.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, just do it. Just go out there. Have fun.
Just do it.
Yeah, we out here, right?
Yeah. I mean,
it's certainly better than the way the Big Ten's doing it. I would rather you just go, hey, give your top team some double buys, get them into the round of 8 or whatever you want to do if you want to reward them, and then just go for it. Just go nuts. There's no reason to have this weird pool stuff.
Of the SEC games that were played yesterday, do you know how many games were played without a single error?
Oh, not a lot. 1?
Let's go with none.
Okay, yeah, that'll be.
Kicked it around a little. Even Creighton St. John was a little sloppy.
Yeah.
What, they have 5 between the two of them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Boy, that got a little dicey, didn't it?
Yeah, I didn't feel great.
So North, did he get well against Nebraska?
Must have.
All of a sudden, he's back.
Hey, I'll take it.
He's back.
We're back. We're out here, right?
Yeah.
We're out.
I'm not going to continue to honk for sailors. We forgot to ask our friend what kind of food did he eat at Free Prasco Park.
Oh.
It has to be more than just Chick-fil-A, doesn't it?
Probably. You can text him.
He texted early this morning.
Did he?
6:55.
Probably assumed you were up.
Did they cross over to East Coast?
Yeah, Ohio's in the Eastern time zone.
All of it?
I believe so, because I think it starts in Indiana, and Ohio's east of Indiana. I think the line is through Indiana.
Okay.
I believe.
Because there's a place in Indiana that doesn't have daylight savings time.
Yeah, and it kind of screws people up because I think it runs right through the middle
Fort
of
Wayne-ish or something like that?
Yeah, I think it runs through the middle of a town, so it messes people up.
Yeah. Are you excited for baseball today? Because I am.
Yeah, I like college baseball.
Yeah.
Get out there or watch some games.
Once I figure out how many milligrams is too many for ibuprofen and I can stop taking, then I'm going to chill and watch baseball.
Yeah.
I may sit outside and freeze my balls off.
Don't do that.
I don't need them.
It's not that cold.
If
you're just out on your deck, it won't be that cold.
Yeah, I won't get the sun till later, and baseball's on early.
Yeah. Just throw a little, turn the grill on, get your little heat off there.
Mm-mm.
No, not making anything today?
I do have a fire pit. No, because it's just Zoe and I.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I have to take Zoe with me to the barbershop.
Yeah?
I'm going today at 4 o'clock because tomorrow I hope to be at Warner. But I do need that lady, Mother Nature.
To cooperate?
Yes. Because I'm bringing I think every former West Side football player would be at that game.
Yeah?
They love the Zickman, so it's easy. What?
It's just random.
Well, they're in town.
I get that.
Teddy and Bo. Oh, you got to see your boy, Bo Ryan.
Oh, yeah?
He let his hair grow.
Did he?
He's a certified killer. He's just a menace.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a great player.
Where did he end up?
He's at South Dakota.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. He's our scout team player of the year.
There you go.
I'm like, Bo, go back to the bald head. It's fitting. You look
menacing.
Yeah, but now he's pretty again.
Yeah?
Yeah. We got to go through Iowa's schedule. No, I want to do Minnesota first.
You do Minnesota first?
Yeah, because I'm sick of you hating on the Gophers. And I need new allegiance. You guys keep lumping me in with Iowa. I need to be.
You're going to be the Golden Gopher honker?
So crass. Considering I'm half Iowegian. I don't even know why I said that. That's kind of dumb. Wish I had never said that.
Just half, though.
I think one of these two teams you may end up owing an apology if you don't sandbag. You want to do Iowa first or Minnesota?
Let's do Minnesota.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you said you want to do Minnesota. Let's do Minnesota.
Okay. Are you fully prepared?
As prepared as I'm going to be.
Do you now know who's playing quarterback for them?
As much as they do, yeah.
I think they know their quarterback.
Well,
you're stupid.
I think they think they know. I don't know.
Much as they do.
That was still relatively funny, though.
See, Shane's got me.
You go ahead. You'd be like the people on Oregon Trail that die. You hit your wagon at that if you want to. You'd be going off a cliff.
Somebody's getting dysentery.
That would be.
It's a bad way to go.
Horrible.
Just pooping yourself to death.
Oh,
it's a bad way to go.
Yeah.
All right. You want Minnesota or Iowa?
Minnesota.
All right. Buffalo.
No, they're not asking me. We're asking you.
Oh, so you don't have to answer any questions?
No, because I know my order. My order is already vastly different. Were you
I was
using the
looking in the
cheat code?
chat.
Me and TK?
I mean, I saw you in the chat. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not really a cheat code when it's for everybody and like public consumption. You know, everybody can read those, right?
You're too much, man.
I was just making sure. I'm trying to help you out.
You literally can't help yourself.
Oh, no. Is that me?
No, I think that's me.
Who is that? That's me.
Yes, that was
The
you.
oh no is me.
No, it's Ravi.
Oh yeah, that sounded like dickalicious.
I did.
What?
You actually said dick. You must be.
It's simmering.
I just can tell like where you're at based on which words you substitute or spell out or.
God. Oh. All right.
All right, Minnesota.
Buffalo at home.
That's a win.
Northwestern State.
That's a win.
Okay, tricky one.
Yeah, this one is weird.
Travel to Cal. I don't know who's going to be on Cal's roster.
That's where I'm having a hard time, if I'm being honest with you.
Got to go to Cal.
I'm going to call that a win.
Now, this is a very timely break.
Yeah.
They come back from Berkeley. They get a week off. They get the Scarlet Knights, who will play in a very similar way to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the 8th and Cal McManus homecoming.
Yeah, this is a total crapshoot for me. Like this is a real coin flip.
I'm struggling here.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you didn't like Rutgers.
I also don't like Minnesota.
You sound like such a pretentious prick.
Well, like, okay, you
say try to redo that tone.
You know what it'd be? I also don't like Minnesota.
That's not how you said it. You said it like a.
I thought you meant redo it, like try and do it not pretentious.
Yeah. I also don't like Minnesota. like what are we at Harvard?
No, I'm sitting here because like we start this segment with you being like, you're gonna hold one of these teams in a college. You're hating on Minnesota.
Is that my voice?
And then
was that my voice?
Yes, just like mine is. Well, yeah, I don't like.
No, that is
Minnesota
how you
either.
said it though. You try to make me the angry black dude. I'm not.
So we start this segment with you saying I don't like Minnesota, and then when I don't like Minnesota, you're like, I thought you didn't like Rutgers.
Well, who do you like? Clearly isn't me. It's not Rutgers. It's not Minnesota.
I've been pretty clear.
Dogs
It's Nebraska.
It's fine.
I find these two teams to be very much in the similar vein.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it to Minnesota because they're at home.
They are 4-0.
Yep.
And they are on the road at Cbus.
Yeah, that's going to be a loss.
Okay. They get Purdue at home.
That's a win.
They're 5-1.
Mm-hmm.
They get Nebraska at their place.
That's a loss.
5-2. They're on the road at Iowa City.
That's a loss.
That's 5-3. They get the Spartans at home.
I'm going to call that a win.
That's 6-3. They're at Oregon.
Loss.
That is 6-4. They are at Northwestern.
Win.
That is 7-4. They get Wisconsin at home.
This is another one of those crapshoots for me.
They're 8-4.
I think that's a loss. I think they're losing to Wisconsin.
We just walked through Wisconsin's schedule. You called it a loss the other day.
Oh, no, you're right. I call it that's a win. That's a win for I
You were gonna be a cocksucker on purpose.
No, I switched them. I switched them in my head.
So they're 8-4.
Yeah, that's 8-4.
Okay.
I gave them coin flips. I think they could lose to Michigan State. I think they could lose to Rutgers.
So you think they could lose to Michigan State at home because you love Chillis that you just walked us through? So
no, because I think they're
But you
about
like
in the
Jonathan-
same range.
but
I think
you like
Rutgers.
Jonathan Smith.
I like Jonathan Smith. I think Rutgers, Minnesota, and Michigan State are all kind of in that same category. So I think they very easily could lose either one or both of those games.
Okay. So they have 8 wins.
And I think they're closer to 7 than they are to 8.
Okay. So for not laughs and giggles. So for my slot, you have Illinois still.
Yeah, ahead.
Iowa.
Yep.
Or excuse me, Indiana.
Yep.
Now are they above or below SC?
I've got them below USC.
Are they above or below Washington?
Right around the same spot.
Above or below?
I'm going to call it above because I think they'll end up with a better record schedule-wise.
Okay. So far, I'm just so you can keep track. Illinois, we're going sandwich teams. So this is like the corned beef, the middle.
Yep.
Illinois, Indiana, USC, Minnesota, then Washington.
Yep.
You have those teams anywhere from 6 to 8 wins.
Yep.
Okay. Just mental note.
Yeah.
You want to flip over and go to
Let's do Iowa.
your Iowa Hawkeyes. How much time do we have left? Because you're going to
We got like 10 minutes. We're good. Got plenty of time.
He said we're good.
Plenty of time.
We're good. We're going to have to do one impromptu, too.
You know I don't like Minnesota either, right?
Ooh. Oh, Dominion. Me like it.
Dominion.
We're going to do one on the fly.
Okay.
And I'm going to give you the cheat code. It's Michigan.
Okay.
I wanted to do them because Nebraska plays them, but I felt like USC and UCLA would have been made for more riveting.
I think they're more interesting.
Yeah.
Although I do think Michigan's interesting. I really do.
We're going to have to do Michigan because they got to go in here somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah. Iowa, we've got.
You're starting with Albany.
Yeah, that's a win.
Okay, you're on the road ish in Ames.
I think that's a loss. I like Iowa State.
How many times Campbell has the one win?
I think so. I like Iowa State.
Okay, 1-1. I don't know about that.
All right.
No, it's not far fetched. Like it's legit.
I mean, that game's always a coin flip. Like it is.
But somehow Iowa wins 90% of them.
Seems like it, but I like Iowa State.
I need Shane. Can you
Iowa does win
multitask?
a lot of them.
Probably not.
I think Campbell only has one win.
I think you're right. I think he's only got the one win against.
And I think that would be in.
It just happened, right?
I think it'd be at Nebraska or at Iowa.
2-6.
2-6.
2022 and 2024.
Okay. Yeah, I knew last year.
Yeah.
I thought that was the first.
AI might be lying to me, but
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's not good, but it's good. All right, so 1-1. UMass
win
at Rutgers.
I'm gonna call it a win.
Yep, because you called it a win for Rutgers. Then you get Indiana at home.
I think I called that a win for Iowa against Indiana.
At Wisconsin.
I think I called that a win.
Penn State at home.
Loss.
Minnesota at home.
I just went Iowa here, so yeah.
Oregon at home.
Loss.
At USC.
I think that's a loss.
Michigan State at home.
I think that's a win.
Nebraska on the road.
That's a loss.
7-win Iowa team.
Sounds about right.
Did I do that right?
Let me count real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 7 or 8.
Okay, are they closer to 7 or 6?
They're closer to 8 than they are 6.
4, 6, 8.
So it's 7 verging on 8, not 7 verging on 6.
Okay. So they have to be below SC and Minnesota-ish.
So Indiana, SC, Iowa, I have in that same range. So just below Illinois and then that next group.
All right. You're going to drive me crazy. So
All
we're
right.
going to go Illinois.
Yep.
IU.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa or SC?
Iowa. Then SC.
Then Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Then Washington.
Yep. Then Rutgers. Or is there somebody between
UCLA.
Rutgers? UCLA and then Rutgers. Yep.
UCLA, then Rutgers. Do you want to save Nebraska so we don't have to shoot your shot with predictions and jump to Michigan?
Let's do Michigan, yeah.
All right. Because this is, again, you're kind of looking at this now and you're like, yeah, this middle is not, it is hard to navigate, which was the whole point of this exercise.
Yeah, it's messy as all hell.
Right? Like we make all these crazy, oh, Nebraska's going to do this and Nebraska's going to do that. And I'm like, okay, I'm not giving you any sort of pushback yet, but sequentially it has to add up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just aren't going to, not everybody's going to be an 8-win team.
Yeah.
All right. Your Michigan Wolverines. What do we think?
New Mexico's a win.
Hang on. Let me make sure I keep track because This is going to be very important for notes later on.
Mhm.
All right, New Mexico. So they go on the road with Oklahoma.
And I don't think much of Oklahoma. I just don't.
Okay.
But that's going to be that's a tough spot. If you're starting a true freshman quarterback on the road,
You get Sharon Moore.
for that one, because it was very important that he'd be there for that. I struggle with the true freshman quarterback on the road in that spot.
But who's what do you like at Oklahoma, the quarterback spot? You've been bashing him all off season.
So, okay. In context of what other people think he is, yes, I'm bashing him. I think
You think he's just going to run around and scramble?
I think he's going to be better in that game than a true freshman on the road.
Young Ravi.
What's up?
First of all, Underwood may not start.
I'm assuming. I don't.
Now, we've been very critical of Mateer.
Yeah, I don't love Mateer.
You went through the old 2-game slot and not being good against good competition, and now all of a sudden you're back to waffling.
I'm waffling because I don't love Oklahoma. I also don't love Michigan in that spot, especially if they're starting a true freshman quarterback. I think this is a difficult game. I'm gonna give it to Michigan. I don't feel great. That's one of those where when we ask, am I closer to this or that, that's probably one of the games I'm looking at.
All right, so first suspension for Coach Moore.
They beat
Central Michigan.
Yep.
Okay, on the road in Lincoln.
I think Nebraska wins that game.
Okay, so 3-1. You get Wisconsin back at the house.
It's a win.
At SC.
I think go ahead.
You gave it to who did you give this to?
Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a win.
It's 5-1.
Mhm.
At home against Washington.
That's a win.
6-1.
Yep.
At East Lansing.
So this is one that I'm struggling with a little bit. I don't love Michigan State, but I do really like Jonathan Smith. And I think Michigan might drop one that I'm not thinking about.
Gives yourself some wiggle room.
And so this is the one that makes sense to me. At Michigan State, rivalry game on the road, I'm going to give that to Michigan State.
Purdue.
Win.
Northwestern.
Win.
Maryland.
Win.
At Ohio State at home.
That's a loss.
Okay, so they're 9-3.
Yep, they're right there with Illinois.
So that's above Illinois. Are they closer to 10 or are they
They're closer to 9 than they are to 10.
Okay. So they're above Illinois because
I said Illinois is closer to 8 than so I think they're right. Illinois and Michigan are very close in my mind. But I'll give Michigan the slight edge.
Okay. So far, do you want me to give you a running record?
Michigan?
No, who's at the top? Because now I have the whole order outside of Nebraska.
So it's
Oregon, Ohio State, Penn State.
I'm going to go Penn State.
Okay.
Ohio State.
Okay.
Oregon.
Okay, so far, without Nebraska,
Mhm.
does this sound right? Penn State, Oregon State, Oregon,
Ohio State.
Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, SC, Minnesota, Washington, UCLA, Rutgers.
Yes.
Okay. That's where we're going to hold.
That sounds right for now.
Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, SC, Minnesota, Washington, UCLA, Rutgers.
Yeah.
I want you to remember something I said in the very beginning. Hey, when we going through these top 4 teams, do you know who wasn't in your top 4? Even 5?
Who?
Michigan.
Yeah, that's fine. I think Michigan's schedule lines up a little better.
It's a little better.
It's a little better. Yeah.
So Michigan and Illinois right now before we do Nebraska
in my top 5. Yeah, I think
they're in your top 4.
No, 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, both of them are in the top 5. Michigan gets a little bump from the schedule. The schedule's a little easier than I would have thought.
Is there maneuvering room for
who?
Nebraska.
Oh, I don't need to maneuver room for Nebraska.
You're feeling good.
They're right where I want them.
Feeling good.
They're right where I want them.
Is this how you played out? Is this how you thought it would play out?
Pretty close. Some of the middle is a little jumblier than based on schedules.
I love that word.
Jumblier. Based on the way the schedules were,
Yeah.
it's got a little messier in the middle than I anticipated, but so that changed the order of some teams, but it's more or less what I thought.
This is going to be good.
We'll be back tomorrow. We'll go through Nebraska. That's DB. I'm Ravi Lewis. Hurrdat Sports Live.
See you. Have a good day. Love you.